Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Huck. The Titans back on the practice field today for day 2 of training camp. Coach Vrabel, Robert Woods, Derrick Henry all spoke with the media earlier today. And Derrick Henry, man's getting up there in years. Is he changing the way that he trains?
No, not at all. Just continue to do what I've done. Not get too carried away with it. And trusting what I do, just taking care of my body and preparing the right way with these guys out here, and then go out there and trying to help them win.
He also wants Ric Flair to know that he wasn't really a fan of him either. The Nashville Sounds are back on the field tonight, winning the first 2 games of their series with the Charlotte Knights. First pitch is going to be at 7:05, and the Strike Zone is going to be broadcasting live from there starting around 7. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. This is 104.5 The Zone, the Thursday edition. And, man, I don't know what's going on, but, today feels like Tuesday to me. It feels like the week is not almost over. But guess what? It's almost over. Ron Slay.
Hey, what's happening?
And from Nashville, Tennessee at 6'8" at power forward, Ron Slay.
That would be me. Y'all better buckle up, because this car ain't got no roof. Let's go, people.
I love it when the beat drops there in that intro.
That's because, listen, Red Gordon B know what he doing. That's why. He make people feel good with his beat. That's what it's about.
You had some beats dropping last night,
man. I sure did, man. Hey, man, I got a couple announcements. That's a couple. Thank you, Hump. I got a couple of announcements.
Out the gate. Let's just go out the gate.
Straight out the gate.
I love the medieval horn, but I think we need something with a little more kick to it also.
Need some spunk?
Yeah.
Some spunk or some funk?
I mean, if you want me to add all the hear it.
Because, if your announcement includes Scarface, I don't know if it works real well with that.
That's true. You know what I mean? We might need some Gordon B funk for it. But listen, my first announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? Thank everybody for gathering for these announcements. It's kind of like the church announcements, when the deacon step up and, you got to read everything.
Speaking of, are you a pastor yet?
Nah, man, I don't know. Hey, man, I need to check with my reps. I don't know what happened with that. I was supposed to be getting ordained. What's happening with that? I should be doing full-fledged weddings by now.
Pastor Slay.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But
you can marry people, you can bury people, you can do everything.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, y'all. You know what I mean?
Deacon Slay.
Come on, man. You know what I mean? I might want to be Bishop. Bishop Slay. Put a little funk on it. Hey, listen. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
What are you trying
it's nothing worse than when you go to a restaurant that you really ain't even supposed to be going to get something that you really don't even need.
What does that mean? You want to go to Crystal, but you end up at White Castle?
I wanted to go to Subway, but ended up at Burger King. So you were close.
I did end up at Subway.
That's why I should have ended up at. And this was my slap on the wrist for not ending up there. Y'all know I love sauce. I got to have sauce. Really can't eat without sauce. Man, I go to Burger King, man, order my meal, man, get around to the window. And then when I get that to the window, I say, hey, excuse me, could I get some, in this voice, excuse me, could I get some extra ketchup, please? Guess what the lady do to me? Hand me the bag and say, we ain't got none.
We ain't got none.
Y'all ain't got no ketchup.
Ketchup? They're a restaurant.
What you putting on the sandwiches? Because they come with ketchup. You know that, don't you? So I said, man, you know what? I ought to slang this out the window, but I ain't going to be there because I'm hungry. You know what I mean? That's the one announcement. So Burger King down on 8th and Wedge, y'all got to do better, man.
Somebody needs to deliver some ketchup.
Yeah, man. Where's Cisco at? Ain't them the people that delivered? Where they at?
I thought you were talking about the thong song.
He might got to catch up too. He's saucy.
That thong.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying?
How much sauce do you have in your refrigerator? Like if I go to your house right now,
and
I roll up that steep a driveway,
You
and,
so
I
steep,
and I
too.
walk in there and I open your refrigerator.
Oh, you're. Oh, it's
Just jugs
all
of it.
plethoras of sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, you can swim in it. I love it. My second one is I'm sitting in a park location, just chilling. Really want to get my car washed, but I'm debating. So I'm just sitting in the parking lot. This is weird. But it's a bird, like a crow, a baby raven or something.
A robot bird or a real bird?
The thing just keep walking. Why are birds walking? Like, not like real life walking. He was just looking around like he was looking for somebody. So he walked down probably about 20 yards and then flew to the tree and back around and walked back down the path again. I'm like, hey, bird, why you walk? You can fly. Why are you walking?
So why not use the talents and the skills that God gave you?
Yeah. And speaking of that, y'all.
That's like if Michael Jordan would have chosen to be like a librarian.
Come on, man. These are things that I'm going through today. Last night, I got to meet a legend. A legend. Grew up on his music. Scarface, Brad Jordan from Houston, Texas, man. If you know anything about hip-hop, Ghetto Boys, Rap-A-Lot Records, this is it, man.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Man, come on, y'all.
Did he go with some Ghetto Boys?
Yeah.
Because sometimes when
They usually don't
things
do it.
happen, then
But
they don't.
He said they wrote so much. He wrote so much of the music. He got to do it. Yeah. So that was good. But then to get to chop it up with him, and he put me on some cigars. So I told him when I get on the radio tomorrow, I'm rating your cigars,
How did you end up with Scarface?
dude. So we go to the meet and greet, take the picture. My picture don't come out good. So I'm like, man.
How'd you get the meet and greet? Kenny Smooth?
Chris, man, you know she like to maneuver. Like she's a rep in herself.
Listen, her Instagram feed,
Yeah,
she's out there
every bit of it. So
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm getting dragged along. I can't wait for this month to go. But this is the thing, because she's celebrating her birthday month. But this is the thing. So after we take the picture, I walk up the stage and we over there on the cut, about to pay our tab and get on up out of there. She was like, that picture ain't good. Let's go back up in and ask for another. I was like, man, that's cool. I ain't trying to bother them, man, like that. You know what I mean?
She's got things to do.
Yeah, you know what I mean? She was like, no, come on. So she dragged me across the stage, up the steps, back to his dressing room, and was like, hey, Scarface, man, we took the picture. It didn't come out good. He think we can take another picture. It was like, I can't say exactly what he was like, but he was like,
that's as close as you could come to saying something without saying something.
Yeah,
Boy, you stopped yourself.
Yeah, he was like, man.
You were going 85 in fast lane and just
I was in there.
parked it.
I'll take 15, 20 pictures for you, man. What y'all want to do? I don't care nothing about that. I'm with y'all know. So she was like, all right. He was like, man, we're going to go to the cigar bar. He was like, y'all smoke cigars? Hell yeah, man. Come on. I'm going with y'all. I was like, what? What you mean? What you mean going with us, dude? Like, you don't know us. You know what I mean? He said, give me your phone, man. Put your number in my phone. You know? I said, now give me, what's your number? He said, I can't call my number out loud. Give me your phone, man. Put the number in there. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to hit you up after this. The man told me.
This is unbelievable.
While I'm walking down the steps, hey, Slay, hey, man, I'm just go with y'all. This Scarface, man. What? You just going with, well, come on in, dog. So when we go outside, we get in the car. I had to take a moment, like, dude, I'm in the car.
He was
just
in the
sitting
car
there
with
Scarface, like, right here. Right outside Brooklyn Bowl. Like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do. But, hey, man, genuine dude. All he wanted to do is joke. He said he was going to call in and joke on you and Babs. Said he was going to throw jokes and at us all day.
All right.
So I'm going to hit him up and see.
But by the way, Babs on vacation. She says
Babs is, she's on assignment.
Well, yeah, she's on assignment. Vacation's a strong word.
It's a strong word.
But, yeah, she liked to send us pictures of things that make us wish we were with her.
So he just wrote me back. I just told him I'm gonna get him in the boom boom room soon, and I'm gonna rate your cigars on air. He said, had a word I can't say, blast. Hit me anytime, homie. Much love, Slay. So, hey, I mean, we got Face Mob on speed, and he works with the Astros.
Listen, you can start that rap career now, man. Maybe he starts another super rap group.
I'm tired.
You're tired.
Yeah, I'm cool.
So did y'all go to a cigar bar?
Yeah, we did. We went to one on Church Street. Then they closed. They let us stay in there a little bit longer. So then he took us back to his room. He's like, man, I got some real cigars for you. Aroma Craft. Remember these, Aroma Craft. Just kept saying aroma craft. I'm gonna sing you some. So we go up at his room and get the cigars. So then we went over here to a little patio where we could smoke. We couldn't go to the rooftop because it was closed. So we stayed out there, man. We didn't leave till 2. You just want to sit there and talk and joke all night.
A night in the life of Slay, huh?
Hey, man, it was wild, man.
Just hanging out.
The legend.
And the morning in the life of Slay.
Brad Jordan, man.
I
Scarface.
saw what did I see? Source magazine has him number 6 all time in on the top 50 lyricists of all time.
Man,
list.
without question.
Number 6.
He top 5 in mine. Without question. And number 1 from the South.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, you have regional favorites?
Oh, you got to. You got to split them up. You know what I mean? You
Well,
number 1 from the
back in
South.
the
Jay
day,
would
like,
be number 1 from New York.
The Ghetto Boys and Two Live Crew were really the only Southern
That we had.
rap group.
That could go mainstream a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, exactly. Because every town had.
But man, so wise, man, was talking about money and putting his money away, like how he got screwed on his first contract and then came back in 1994, got his money, and hasn't even seen the money that he got from 1994 with Jay Prince. Jay Prince said, "I'm putting it in this trust account. You ain't gonna touch it." And he said, "I ain't seen it to this day." He said, "I get a bank statement every month, and then I'm piled up since 1994."
Wow, that's like Bobby Bonilla.
He said, "Yeah, exactly."
When he left the Mets, he just gets
exactly.
paid.
He said, "I just
Every
get paid."
June or something.
Said it was
1 point something
the
million
best
dollars.
investment ever. So that was interesting to hear, man. A whole lot of stuff. Musically inclined, came from 2 musicians, his father and his mom. He can play every instrument. Every instrument. It's wild, man.
Yeah, musicians, man. I love hanging.
Man, this
Just
ain't
kinda
nothing like
feeding
hearing them
off the
stories. Yeah.
creativity.
I was like you last night, Euro. How you can
I love
pick
it.
the stories.
Yeah.
I did a Euro last night.
So Joe Hunk had a night too.
Yes, he did.
I mean,
So-
it wasn't thrown with hanging out with a rapper or anything.
Let me start here. So Joe Hunk, for those that don't know, threw out the first pitch at First Horizon Park last night. And so Slay and I specifically, I guess Babs got in it a little bit, we tried to put as much pressure on Hunk as we possibly could because we know that Hunk sometimes kind of feels the situation.
Yeah.
It might overthink some things.
I'm very emotional. I'm very emotional.
It's a full disclosure show. I mean, these are things. We all have things. And so I go outside after the show's over. Hunk's still in here putting together the after party. And so I go outside and I see his dad and his stepmom and Tori. And, we start talking. I said, yeah, we just tried to make it as nervous as possible. And your dad goes, well, you succeeded. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you did.
Well, you got your one.
Yeah, you did. Had to text the wife. Hey, you know that anxiety med that we just have that's for emergencies?
The emergency.
Break the glass.
Break
the glass. Bring it with you. Break the glass. I think she gave me the med before she even kissed me. She was just like, okay, take this first.
See, Slay has
Slip
that
your
at home for sauce.
Oh, yeah. I got the glove compartment. I got them everywhere stashed, like pistols. Like Rambo would have guns or James Bond would have guns everywhere. I got sauce everywhere.
Where's the mustard?
Yeah.
Double tap the couch
So-
right there on the arm.
Right there.
So you walk out to the mound and the PA announcer starts giving this rundown of who you are.
Yes.
And so then what?
When I'm walking out to the mound, I was fine till I got on the mound because they asked me if I wanted to throw it in front of the mound, by the way. And I said, nah. I said, I can't.
That's what I'm talking about,
I've got to throw it on the mound. And
I love how they give people the option.
They did.
Yeah.
And I said, there's no way I could not do it. So I stand on the mound and the PA announcer's continuing to read my bio and stuff. And at about that time, I look at Booster and I go, why does 60 feet 6 inches look so far away? Like, why is that the case? And right now where we're standing, I would say Brent is about 60 feet 6 inches away from me right now. And it's not that far. At First Horizon, it felt like it was a mile. And so finally they said, all right, your cue is going to be, let's see that first pitch. But before they said that, I was looking at Booster and I thought, I can't lob it because Booster asked me to lob it. He goes, hey, don't, he does these little hand motions.
See, I hate when they do that.
He says he did a hand motion of don't throw fast.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to throw fast because he can't, like his peripheral vision isn't real good to do that thing.
No, and he also has this glove that's like the size of his head. And so I was going
he doesn't
to
want
lob
to short hop anything.
Yeah, I was going to lob it. And then right before I threw the first pitch, I said, I can't lob this. I've got to at least throw a little harder than I thought I was going to, because if not, I'm one-hopping it. I'm pulling a Slay. And so I threw it, and right when I threw it, aiming for the beak, It went right above the beak. He held his glove up and went right into the glove.
Yeah, you
It was
threw
a
it.
high.
You threw it high.
I did throw it high.
I don't know how to judge it, honestly, because like if you would have thrown it as low as you did high, you would have bounced it, and we would have all ridiculed you and made fun of you.
Yep.
But you went the other way. So, like, to me, it's like, okay, you didn't bounce it, but is like going high better?
That's the question I want. That's the question I got. I don't know either.
It was over the plate, but it was high.
Yeah, but you were over an 8-foot mascot too.
No, and I was aiming over his head as well, which was sad. And then I didn't follow through.
That might have been the best thing though. But if you did follow through, you might have put it right there in his stomach.
I will say one thing, Slay. I did not warm up.
I
did not make a single throw before that throw on the mound.
Yeah, see, that's where they get you at.
Yeah, I did not make one single throw. My son and I played on the field, and I was rolling ground balls to him. That's all I did. That was my very first throw in probably 5 years.
I love it.
Right then.
All right.
Like riding the bike, baby.
Yeah. So, well, you got through it. Congrats. Phone line's open. There's an ESPN piece out there. And we'll do this a little bit later. We do have Big Savagery coming up, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, Ramon Foster is next. Later in the show, in the 4 o'clock hour, there is an ESPN piece outlining people in the NFL with the most pressure on them. Yeah, he's on the list. Let me just start there. But we'll have a question for you. Who, beyond Ryan Tannehill, has the most pressure on them on this team? We'll talk about that in the 4 o'clock hour. 615-737-1045. If you want to talk to Big Savagery, Ramon Foster. What is training camp like? He did it. He knows. He'll share next on 104.5 The Zone.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Banks are great for car loans, but when you need a home loan, you need an expert. We'll get you pre-approved the day you call in, lower rates, and with our 21-day closing guarantee, you'll be in your dream home in weeks.
hell no.
Oh, I hope that is
Most
so true.
definitely not. No, man. No, sir. I ain't got to worry about that.
You just gonna go ahead and speak for Ramon? Maybe.
Yeah, man, listen, man. A savage can speak for one savage. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the savage is in question.
Ramon Foster joins us now. Ramon, what's up? How are you?
Hey, man, what do you have going on this Thursday, man?
I don't know. It's kind of weird up in here, man. I don't know. It doesn't feel like Thursday. I don't know what it feels like, but I don't. There's storms in the area. Maybe the kinetic electricity in the air has got me going. I don't know.
I'm a roll with that one there. Man. But all is well today. I won't complain. Man.
There you go. Big set. I mean, if any of us complained about anything, would anyone listen?
No, absolutely not. They probably laugh at your problems.
That's
you
definitely
can't tell
true.
Everybody knows this shit.
That's definitely true. Big savagery. Ramon Foster from J. Martin Ramon joins us now. Ramon, obviously the Titans, every NFL team going through training camp now. Do you have like a little feeling inside you when training camp starts, wishing you were back out there?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I had a friend of mine pull a string today, and I was able to actually go to the Titans practice today. And I didn't miss it. I'll say this. I saw some of the guys. I knew I chopped it up with Ben Jones, Taylor Lewan. I saw Bud there. I saw a lot of guys, just mingling a little bit as far as the players go. I was like, yeah, this part right here is cool. But when I dapped them up and they had all that sweat and tape on their hands, breathing hard, I was like, no, I'm good to go. But it was a real good environment today, man. That part, Mayor and Savage and Don, like I truly enjoyed that aspect of getting to see them up close and having the ability to really be around ball. I see why guys, want to be around this cool environment today.
Was training camp different for you as a younger player compared to like when you had reached some maturity in the league?
Oh yeah, it changes up big time for you, man, because you're such in a scramble mode as far as figuring out what to do, what's acceptable. Like, can I actually talk in between drills? How much do I need to be watching? Like, you're so dialed in because the focus, honestly, within like the first 3 or 4 years for guys, and I'd even say for first rounders, it's like survival, and that's one of the things that young guys got to learn early and often. That's also one of the things that, like honing in your craft. The faster you do that, the better you'll appreciate your older years. Like I was, watching guys like Ben and those guys on the sideline, and when the other group was going, they're sitting back there talking and joking a little bit and just hanging loose. But your mindset does change, but you got to gain the respect of your teammates, number one, your coaching staff also, and you got to have a level of consistency that reigns supreme to keep you in the league too, because as you said, Mayor, in your older years, they'll find ways quickly to get you out of the league too. So that's what you don't want as a pro.
Savage, now, I told the world about my experience last night. I missed my boy. My dog was supposed to be with me. I just want to throw that out there in front of the world. But, my boy, he was the one that told me about Faceball was coming here, and he didn't go with me. But that's neither here nor there. You did go to Titans training camp. Let me ask you this. When going into training camp, when does it hit you knowing that you are a real contender? Because everybody goes into training camp like, hey, man, you know what? This the year, man. We 0-0. Let's go win every game. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that is sometimes just a talk for morale and everything. But you've been in situations where that's really that. Did you guys all come on that one page when you walked into training camp, or was it something that built up throughout training camp? When did you know it?
Man, you really kind of walk into training camp with it because you see what you have in the springtime. You know the players that you have on your team too, and that's one of the coolest things about the profession is, we speak about like this 40% turnover or whatever the case may be for the NFL, but for the most part, within the inside of the team, you know who you got on the left side of your line, on the right side of your line, who you got at quarterback, what your running back is going to be able to do. And that for sure is where this Titans team is. It's a matter of getting it all to work together. It's a matter of keeping everybody healthy throughout the season. That's one of the biggest things that I kind of took away from what Vrabel said with Derrick Henry. It's the idea that he said, look, Derrick's not going to play in the preseason. And I can just nod my head because when you got a guy that's that special and you know he just had his first injury or an injury just in general that kind of hindered your season. Let's be real. If Derrick hadn't had that injury, man, there's no telling what this team would have looked like and honestly what the flow of this team's offense and just chemistry would have been like too if he'd have made it the entire time. So hearing Vrabel say he's going to hold him out, keep him in a position to where he's fresh for the season, it lets you know that they're going to be serious about everything that this team needs. Like, we used to get to points during the season, if we keep Le'Veon healthy, if AV stays healthy, if we don't lose a starting tackle, we're going to be a presence in this NFL as far as making the race deep into the playoffs. And that's the first thing that I said about Derrick not getting reps in the preseason. Maybe it's a little bit of the contract. I don't know what it is. But when you have a coach that, no, put him on the shelf until we need him, Ron, to your point about how do you know you have a squad or you have a chance, when coaches are making those type of statements, you know you're in the show as far as being a contender.
Now, you look at both sides of the ball. You've been on a team where the offense has – it's a juggernaut. It's all you got to do is hit the automatic start, and they're rolling. You know what I'm saying? But you've also been on the other side of it where the defense has had to carry you guys in this situation right now with everything up in the air, not knowing exactly what we're going to get from the wide receivers, the O-line. How is Derrick Henry going to look? How does Tannehill bounce back? But we do know what this defense is because they're still intact. Anytime in training camp when you were on that side of the ball and you looked and was like, hey, y'all, we got to kind of slow it down a little bit for, till the defense get there. Or, hey, man, we got to pick it up, dog. Like, they leaving us behind, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you approach that?
Man, it's a great question just because I know you never did, but that is a great question. People,
No.
Why did you feel like you had to couch that?
Because I don't want to come on here rubbing Bron's back and no. That was a daggone good question, man, because it happens and we don't speak about that. And I think, we kind of let the speak flow a little bit as far as the outside perspective. But in the season, though, or in training camp, those types of things do come up. I would look at this Titans team, and say, the defense knows they're the big dogs. They know they got the most returning guys. They know they have the least amount of questions about what they're going to do as far as the season goes. It all goes well. But it is, a team concept. You got to evolve around the team and just be a part of that. But there were some of those times where you have, a player or two say, hey, we're going to give him a little gimme right here. Mm-hmm. Just to honestly boost up the morale a little bit or to feel like they won, a series or two. And I'll be honest, that went the other way too. Coach T I'll say this, sick the defense on us, especially when we were young. This defensive line, this defensive line is probably going to be set out with a mission. Look, we got to figure out what's going to happen at left guard and right tackle. Mm-hmm. I need y'all to dog them every single day and make them grow up. Because this defensive line and defense is one of the best in the NFL. It proved that last year, and I know it's year to year as far as that type of stuff goes. But if you got Jeff out there, you got Danico out there, you got Bud out there, you got Zach Cunningham out there, you can tell those guys, give them hell. Today, I'm not calling up the dogs. Make them grow up as fast as we need them to. And it's going to be a rough day for those guys up front. But that is a part of the process. What better work are you going to get in NFL than against a really good defense that you have in your own backyard? Now, screw that, in your own front yard. Mm-hmm. And so that is a part of it. I guarantee you, we'll hear reports that, hey, it wasn't Dylan Raden's day today, or it wasn't Aaron Brewer's day today, or it wasn't Jamarco Jones' day today. You want to know why? Because those coaches, they go into those meetings and say, you know what? Today is a Thursday. It's going to be his day. And there's nothing he can do about it other than fight through it. And that's what training camp is. They want to see who's going to fight through, who's going to actually rise to the occasion. And I'll be honest, y'all got me going now. I love this type of stuff.
Yeah. I love it. Ramon Foster with us from J. Martin Ramon, at Ramon Foster. Go ahead and follow him on Twitter. So you hit on the big position battle that Slay and I keep talking about is that left guard slot and the right tackle slot. So when the Titans start the season, they'll have a left guard and they'll have a right tackle. But you need that battle. You need people to earn those spots, right? And like, so you made a good point about the D-line having some play in that, but that whole Aaron Brewer and Jamarco Jones battle, I think that's one of the more interesting position battles in camp.
It is, man, because you got two guys that are fighting for the idea that they don't want to be career backups. Like, let's just be real about this. I almost feel like Aaron Brewer has a little bit more grace because he is a homegrown type. He has been in the system. Mm-hmm. He might end up getting the first shake at it. But if I'm Jamarco Jones, I'm looking at him like, man, I appreciate all the things you've done before I got here, but I'm here to kind of take your spot. And, of course, they'll be good friends. They'll be teammates around this. But this is a competition. There are guys' livelihoods, you know, on the line as far as who will or will not make this team. And maybe it'll be both. And one is going to be better, you know, in the backup role. But I'll say this, when you start to get that first sniff of starting, when you get an opportunity to roll with the big dogs, guess what, man? Nobody wants to go back to the bench. I was out there today and I got an opportunity to kind of see Dylan Ravens a little bit. The first thing I said was, yeah, he looked like he did the work. He looks like an NFL offensive lineman now. And you can see it in his movements. And I was explaining it to Lucas Panzika. He's like, Ramon, what do you mean by what are you seeing? And I just said to him, I said, look at him, not directly the plays that he's in. I was like, but afterwards, when he's in the back watching the group in front of him as the first unit was out, I said to him, I was like, look at him talking to Taylor. Look at him joking. He's hanging loose a little bit more. That's because he understands, look, he's got a good shot at winning that position, but also he feels comfortable in being a pro now. Mm-hmm. And when you get that and you have the opportunity to kind of stake your claim on what you're going to be in this league, you kind of see that a little bit better. And that's one of the coolest things about the sport run and Mayor. And y'all know that truth. Y'all know this to be true too. When you're a guy, you know, like you move a little different, and the conversations you have are a little less stressful than the ones of the guys that are really, really trying to make the team and make their career.
So you could kind of see some confidence from Dylan Radins just by watching his body language. See, I'm a big body language guy, man. And I remember sitting behind the bench at a Tennessee basketball game, and Bruce Pearl had a constant barrage of communication with everyone on the bench in terms of what he was seeing on the floor. Yeah. But he would always talk about body language. And I think that that's huge. So what you're saying about Dylan Radins really kind of sticks out to me. I think that's good. And the other part about that left guard battle, and let that go as long as it can go, because you're going to develop that swing guy too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no doubt about it. And that's a good thing too. Like having quality depth is a plus factor in the NFL, especially at the offensive line position where guys are, you know, tripping up themselves and their bodies falling at your legs anyhow. And y'all know it also is hard to find good offensive line play in the league too. But there was other few things I saw just on the surface level, like looking at Traylon Burks. You see he can be a stud for this team. And the other side of it, like seeing Derrick Henry up close, like not just his height, but that guy's he's got some width about him that can be very punishing for defenders. And I see why Derrick gets treated the way he does as far as needing the day, well, not needing the days off, getting the days off to where, man, we don't have to worry about him. But the other guy that I was, you know, overly impressed with seeing up close and personal, man, was friggin' Caleb Farley.
Really?
Hey, if he gets it together as far as his health, because that's the only thing. He's had a year to kind of gain, you know, learn the playbook a little bit and be a part of the team and kind of get his wings as being mentally sharp in the NFL. That is a big kid. And if he plays cornerback for the Tennessee Titans at the level that they think he can, boy, with him and Christian Fulton, who I'm projecting, you know, those two being the two guys, I'm like, yeah, man, he can be special. I'm not crowning him because he's got a lot of work to do, but I can see why John Robinson would pull the trigger on a guy that kind of had a little bit of a health issue, because he looks the part, fellas. And if he carries that, you know, tenacity and focus that we saw on draft night, a feeling he got snubbed onto the field, hey, we could be talking a lot about that kid down the line here in Nashville and just in the NFL in general.
Love it. Ramon Foster, at Ramon Foster on Twitter. J. Martin Ramon, weekday morning, 6 to 10. Be there. We've got all the training camp talk for you on 104.5 The Zone. Thank you, Ramon. Good stuff, bro.
Thanks, Savagery.
Absolutely, fellas. Anytime.
By the way, Laura says like button activated on YouTube as I got here. Love hearing the inside take in NFL training camp from a veteran player. So
I like it, man.
there you go. Yeah, Zone TV. You can watch the show live. Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
And we can hook you up there with all kinds of messages that you send us, and we appreciate that. Also, hit the like button, as Slay says on YouTube.
Yeah.
And here, one other thing I need to get out right now.
What, yo?
As soon as I find it.
Okay.
Severe thunderstorm.
Uh-oh.
Watch. I'm trying to find it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, here. Torrential rain, lightning, and wind up to 60 miles per hour for Williamson and southern Davidson County. Severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15. So stay out there. It's weird being in downtown right now because, like, out one window, it's not that bad. Like, and then out the other window, it looks like the end of days.
It looks torrential.
Torrential.
Yeah, I need a Jeep.
Matt Ryan's been killing it in Indianapolis. We'll get Ron Slake's take on that next. 3-1045.
I'm just curious to know who's the top runner. If you say McCaffrey, do not.
So in Vegas, it's Jonathan Taylor.
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor
Of course.
and Derrick Henry. I almost said that.
Yeah.
George.
Right.
Are you in the race?
Right.
That's the all time.
Right.
That's
But part of it is because of what we saw last year in the postseason, because he's coming off a horrific injury, and I'm amazed
What
that
did
he
they
even
expect?
played. I
Right.
know.
I mean, what do you expect? The man missed 8 games. He's not Superman. He is human.
Yeah.
The fact that he came back from the injury
There you go.
was amazing enough to me. Now, I question how they used him in the playoffs. I thought that the running back they had in last year, during the time he was out, was more in sync with the offensive line, more in sync with the offense, and they were a different offense with him in there. Now, when Derrick comes back, it's a completely different look. It's okay, we're going 22 heavy. And he just wasn't in the game shape. He wasn't in the – it was almost as if he was a step behind. His instincts weren't quite as sharp.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock. Now,
It's understandable.
The flip side of that, the injury wasn't that horrific that he can't bounce back from. He's got fresh legs.
Yeah.
That's
And competitive spirit.
Competitive spirit.
Yeah.
And not to mention, before he got injured, on his way to obliterate, not break, but obliterate Eric Dickerson's record, which he has had for over 30 some odd years.
Right.
So again, Derrick has always everything's been questioned about this dude. As soon as he came in the league, he's too tall, he's too this, he's too that. He goes out, rushes for 1,500 yards. Next year, 2,000 yards. It's always something. So, it's not anything he's not used to. I think he'll bounce back. I think this offense has a lot to prove. Now that A.J. Brown is no longer here, that's a big deal.
Yeah,
I mean, listen, say what you want. A.J. opened the field up.
Yeah.
It stressed you. I mean, having being a coach, being a running back, and understanding you need a passing game to get you space, that's going to be a huge question mark. Now,
3HL 1045 is coming up at 4 o'clock. We're going to ask you a question based on one of these summer lists that are out there Hunk found. There's an ESPN piece outlining people in the NFL with the most pressure on them. And yeah, Titans QB1, Ryan Tannehill on that list.
Why would he be on it?
I like the way he just said, yeah, he's on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody knows. Hell, he knows it.
I didn't know.
Tua knows he's on the list, too.
Tua definitely on it.
And if he doesn't know, he just listen to Tyreek Hill talk about it.
Listen to Tyreek podcast.
He's the most accurate quarterback in the league, man.
Oh, man.
That man. I don't think I never seen nobody dig a hole for a person faster than that, man. Like, he need to go work for the funeral home, man. Because that man just digging a hole for
6 feet at a time.
Like, dog, like, come on, man. Goodness, great. You ain't got nothing else. Don't you got a podcast now? Talk about something else, man. Keep talking to these people about me.
Talk about Top Gun or something.
Yeah, like anything, dog. Sheesh. Yeah.
Scarface Nashville show.
Yeah, hey, man. Listen, I left something out real quick, Joel. A man told me I'm living life, man. I'm having a great time. That's why I'm doing this farewell tour. I just walked out of a casket. I'm like, his son had to give him a kidney. Like, he was dead, gone. He out of here.
Did not know that.
His son, man. So shout out to Chris Prince, man. He gave his dad his kidney, man, and it revitalized him, got him back kicking. So he said my son was selfish. He didn't let me check out. Kept me here. So yeah, that was big time, man. I had to mention that.
So we'll talk about that in the 4 o'clock hour. So that led us to the we'll hit you with that list. Two obvious names on it, Ryan Tannehill and Tua.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll hit you with the list. But then ask the question as we localize that little thing. And beyond Ryan Tannehill, who has the most pressure on them as a Titans player this year? So we'll hit that at 4 o'clock. I did see a piece. I thought about you.
Hey.
Everybody in Indianapolis talking about how Matt Ryan has got all the confidence and his leadership qualities. And, man, it's just great.
This man, Chris Angel. He's Chris Angel. He's David Copperfield. Like, it's all a magic trick around. That man, Matt Ryan, I ain't believing it. Everybody look good. Everybody look good right now. They got pads on. He got Darius Leonard coming after him. Nope, because he's just had surgery. Man, Matt Ryan, you ain't fooling nobody. I heard Ramon talking about it earlier, too, man. Savage was talking about it earlier, that, he's going from a dome to a dome, like he don't have to get used to the elements. The man ain't nothing, y'all. I don't know what. Titans going 2-0.
Against the Colts.
Titans going 2-0. Win the division because of Matt Ryan.
They're going to walk the division if they go 2-0.
Well, I hope they got some good shoes on.
See, I think he'll do all right. Here's the thing, though.
Solid.
This was an obvious storyline coming off of last year with Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
You knew everybody was going to talk about, because when they talk about how good Matt Ryan is from a leadership standpoint, they're dogging Carson Wentz.
Yes.
That's what they're doing.
That's it.
So that may or may not be true. I don't know, but it's a way to dog the past guy.
And my whole
Does that not make sense?
That makes plenty of sense to me, Yor. I understand that.
It's like
totally.
the ACL thing. Everybody talks about how, this guy will be great coming off the ACL. He looks great. He's going to be fine. And then after the season, everybody will be like, well, he came off the ACL. Year 2 in the ACL, that's when you get back. So, like, you already know those storylines are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and start it up with Robert.
It's cool.
With Robert Woods.
Exactly. That'll be knocking on the door.
Not to say he can't produce. I'm not saying that. But this time next year, everybody's going to be like, he's year 2 off that ACL.
And
like what we're doing with Taylor Lewan and
there
Bud
you go.
Dupree.
There you go. And it's that simple. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how it is and what the production is in it. But I will say this, man. That is a huge step to remove that brace. I'm telling you, man, as a person that's walked through it, that's a huge, huge step to remove that brace, because what you're doing is removing the mental block of that brace being on. So once you get past,
that's the biggest part of the injury, right? Is the psychology.
That is it, man.
The mind is a powerful thing, man.
It is. And all you need is that one day when you come back in and it's a little swelling. Mentally, you automatically, like, come on, Nee, don't do this to me. You know what I'm saying? Once you get over that, you gone. So you get that little swelling out, you like, I'm back out of here.
So it's important to talk to the injury. Look,
you
Nee,
got to.
Look, Nee, I didn't come all this way for you to swell up today.
No, that ain't what we did, man. I could have left you a baggage claim or anything when I came from L.A. I brought you with me.
We're in this together,
Come
Nee.
on, Nee. Act right. I gotta act right. Man, no. And to your Matt Ryan point, man, let me say this real quick.
Yeah.
They putting so much on him. Carson Wentz didn't do bad till the end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
all they had to do was beat the Raiders or the Jaguars to get into the playoffs, and then he's still on the damn team.
Come on, y'all. See, now you're talking like now, and now that's why. How much more difference is this man gonna make? All right. Hey, Colt fans. Hey, man, how your day? I'll be waiting at the end of the tunnel. Have you a day, because I'll be waiting. And when you know how the roller coaster ride comes on in, and the people that got off, it may be a couple people waiting right there. I'm gonna be the one waiting right there at the exit ramp. Like, told y'all, it was a hell of a ride.
Here's the thing with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan will have some success this year against teams that can't put pressure on him, but the Titans are going to put pressure on him.
Yep. And
he has reached an elevated stage of his career where he can't move around. And he was never like the mobile guy, but he had quick feet.
Yes.
And he could move around the pocket and escape things. He's not that guy anymore.
No, not at all. Not. And listen, I'm not like to what you just said. I'm not talking about all the other teams in there. I'm talking about the Tennessee Titans when he played in the rivalry game.
Yeah.
Okay, what did he do against everybody else? What are he gonna do when he play this nasty defense like the Penn ears back with a Bud Dupree and a Harold Landry coming off the edge, and you just sitting right there as a little target? Ha! Good food, good meat. Let's eat. That's all they're going to say. Break the huddle.
Can I throw one more thing into that little scenario?
Come on.
Don't think you're going to step up in that pocket.
No, please. No, please.
You step up in that pocket, you got a Kodiak bear ready to maul you.
Please, y'all. Please step up in that pocket. Hey, man, big job.
And we're not even talking about blitz situations.
No, we talking about 4 down.
We're dropping in coverage right there.
We talking about 4 down. But, man, Big Jeff, go get you a bill, brother. Danico, go get you a bill because it's going to be sauce on you. Eat good, baby. I wish he would step up in that little pocket with that little long neck. We neck bones for dinner. Thank you, Matt Ryan.
Neck bones for days.
Man, all
right. Pressure. Ryan Tannehill has pressure on him this season. There's no question about that.
Mm-hmm.
Which Titan beyond Ryan Tannehill has the most pressure on them this year? 615-737-1045. 615-737-1045. You got Big Slay, you got the mayor, Dawn Davenport on, I almost said rotation, but that's not true.
She could be on rotation.
And maybe she is on rotation. She tried to be a doctor early in her life. Yeah.
Rotisserie.
Joe Hunk's there too. Hop on in. Let's have a conversation about this. Who's got the most pressure on him beyond Ryan Tannehill? 615-737-1045.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Thinking you need a big down payment to buy a house? Well, you don't. So stop searching for the money. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we can get you in the home of your dreams with no money down. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. Titans back on the field for second day of practice with NFL training camp. Derrick Henry, Mike Vrabel both spoke with the media, as did Bobby Trees, and everybody kind of noticed how much he enjoys being the first one on every single drill.
Yeah, I personally like to go first. I'm still learning the drills that Rob has us doing, and I know that some of the guys have experience at and what he expects and what the standard is. So I just want to see it done, and then trying to get my reps in. Today I was able to go first because of some drills that we're familiar with, and really I like to just set the tone for the group. We starting fast. We catch the ball and get a good burst, and once you kind of see the first guy do it, it kind of trickles down to everybody. It's really just like setting the standard and setting the tone for how we're practicing and how we're getting that rep done.
And yes, I know it is raining outside, but right now the Nashville Sound's first pitch is scheduled for 7:05. They won the first two games of the series against the Charlotte Knights, and the Strike Zone going to be on location as well, starting at 7. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, though, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Great, y'all. 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you. It is raining real hard downtown Nashville right now.
Yes.
Coming down.
Severe thunderstorm warning for Davidson and Williamson County through 4:15 p.m. We'll keep you updated there. If you're out and about, be careful, like Big Slay.
Yeah, man. Please do. Go get in the building. I ain't got no roof. Yes, indeed. Yo, can I give a shout out real quick?
Shout out. Yes.
Shout out. Shout it out. Donnie from Springfield, man, down here visiting the great city of Nashville. Welcome to the city, man. I got to give a shout out to it. That's all. You know.
Donnie Edwards.
Oh, no, not Donnie Edwards.
Donnie Osmond.
Donnie.
Oh, Donnie.
Like Dawn, put some E's on it.
Speaking of Dawn, she is
yeah,
on assignment today.
Right.
So remember there was a little back and forth with Lamar Jackson and Bernard Pollard.
Yeah.
And then there was an anonymous defensive coordinator that agreed with Bernard Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar didn't hear for that, and he has a great quote.
Uh-oh.
It was anonymous for a reason. Great quote.
What is it?
That was his quote.
Oh.
That
oh my goodness.
That DC comment was anonymous for a reason. Meaning he didn't want to put his name behind it.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. But
yeah. You got to put your name on it.
There's a lot of crazy quarterback situations going on. You got that one with the Ravens where Lamar's his own agent. You got the Kyler Murray situation where you guys were talking about while I was out, that little stipulation in his contract for 4 extra hours of work outside the facility.
Wow to me.
Which is put in a contract for a reason. Kyler Murray now is not happy about it.
What? you think?
But here's my question. Like, how does that contract information get out there?
That's what's, yeah.
As a player, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. Because they snapshotted that and put it out there. Like, who's putting my contract on? This ain't public information, is it? Public record? Just go, you can go look up what they make.
I mean,
I don't think you see the stipulations.
I'm glad it is public information because it's really funny.
Right. I mean, it's good for us.
Yeah.
We love it.
CJ, is it acceptable for my car to have a roof right now?
I'm going to be honest. No. I think you should be in a garage, though, or under a carport. I don't want you to be out here getting flooded, but you know what I mean? Listen, man, we rolling around with no roof. Like, it ain't no – okay, all right, I'll give –
if you're new to this show, going into football season,
yes.
This is a no roofs allowed show.
Oh, and the closer we get to Sunday.
Yeah, and we'll have crazy takes that y'all don't agree with, and y'all have crazy takes that we don't agree with. But it's good because
it's cool.
This is the forum for crazy takes.
Come on now. When you hear the car ain't got no roof, then that right there let you know you've made it. You right here on 3HL. Your excitement should be through the roof.
Derrick Henry spoke to the media today. You'll hear from him today on the show. The Nature Boy, Ric Flair, spoke to the team today. You'll hear from Nature Boy.
I wanted to give him one of them motivational talks, though.
He did.
Did he?
Uh-huh.
That's dope.
My man's 73 years old out there, kicking it. He said that Derrick Henry is his favorite player in the NFL, and he said that he hated him when he was at Alabama.
I
You have that comment? Here's the comment.
He just reached out to me and said, "You want to come talk to Panda?" Hell yeah! So, like I said, I usually have to have a favorite player on the team, and my favorite player in the NFL right now is Derrick Henry. I hated him at Alabama. I love him here. Anybody but Alabama. So,
what is he, Auburn fan?
I don't know.
Come on, Rick.
You would have to be an Auburn fan or a Tennessee fan.
Yo, you can't just leave us hanging like that, though, Rick.
Ric Flair's really strange where he wears a lot of teams' gear. And
Yeah,
gives
he
them
does.
Woo! So he is a Georgia guy because he spent a ton of time in Atlanta because of WCW and all the wrestling there. So he's from North Carolina. So I'm going to say he's probably a Georgia fan.
I think that's probably true. But how many people say that? Like, they love Derrick Henry now, but hated him when he was at Alabama.
Me. Me.
I like how you raise your hand like you're in school.
Yeah,
Your Honor, me.
That's me. I'm guilty. Guilty as charged.
Mr. Doherty, that would be me.
Yeah, like nobody like him.
By the way, that clip of you and Coach Mack went everywhere across the internet.
Man, I
yesterday.
saw it late last night.
Where you struggled to count to 5.
Yeah, that was weird right there, man. I'm gonna tell you what, man. It's always when talking to a coach and a person you admire and look up to. I don't like when they put you on the spot. He put you on the spot. Here's the thing, too. And I didn't know if it was rhetorical or not.
Yeah,
that was the thing.
Like you're not supposed to answer.
Yeah, you look
it didn't come to me because I was reading Twitter. All of a sudden, all this is going on next to me. I'm like, oh, I hope he doesn't ask me.
There's something serious going on.
What he was doing, he was trying to explain 21 personnel, for example. So you start with the running backs, you move to the tight end. So 21 personnel, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, and that leaves you with 2 wide receivers because you count to 5 eligible receivers on every play. So he was kind of educating the new members of the 3HL crew that might not know what he's talking about when he says, 31 personnel, which would really be something. But he caught Slay there.
Yeah, he did, man.
And the funny thing about Coach Mack is usually Coach Mack will offer some grace.
So he ain't want none. No, not right there.
Right at you.
That's because we was in the film room. He was in coach mode.
Yeah,
like, and I could see it. That's why I answered. I was like, hey, man, you like piercing my soul. What you want me to do? Is it you or is this little guy behind you that's like Coach Mack with a monkey on his neck? He all over this place. Y'all could gang me in here. Don't do it, Coach.
For those that don't understand the visual,
oh yeah, my bad.
I just randomly say Coach Mack has a monkey on his neck.
Coach Mack cutouts and stuff.
Just go to Zone TV.
That's all you gotta do. Make it simple.
Yeah, it's right behind me on Zone TV, Twitter, Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
It's pouring out one window and pouring out the other window too. Yeah. Anyway. So hit us on Twitter at 3HL1045, and you can message us anywhere. But we'd love to hear from you. Phone call intensive. Here we go. So there is a list.
All right. Let's get to it.
Out there on ESPN.com. People in the NFL.
Man, I got one too. I got one. It's passing around the room, dog. I got one too, Yor.
When you try not to sneeze, you make hideous facial expressions.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like if somebody would have screenshot that right there.
I had one too, man. Mine went away though. It must have got passed to you.
NFL players, coaches, execs who have the most at stake in 2022. People under the most pressure, from Lamar Jackson to Tua. So there are people on this list like Mekhi Becton, Orlando Brown, some offensive linemen, Matt Rule at Carolina, which is interesting because Matt Rule was the talk of the football world, NFL, college, and then that NFL thing, that's a different animal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, think about this too. Like, you always wonder what would have happened if Nick Saban would have ended up with Drew Brees instead of Dante Culpepper in Miami. The college football landscape is completely different.
Totally different.
And who the hell knows? Maybe Nick Saban's still in the NFL because Drew Brees just kept going and going and going.
Yep.
So Matt Rule's on this list. Pete Carroll is on this list. Your boy, Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes
is on this list.
Right.
We talked to David Cutcliffe about it, and as David Cutcliffe was talking about Daniel Jones, I kind of sensed that maybe fit wasn't the right thing. So I asked him that, and he goes, yeah, maybe. Daniel Jones in the next stop, maybe you can judge him a little bit more, but he does have offensive-minded coach now.
Yep.
So that's the Titans' first opponent. Who else is on this list? Pete Carmichael, offensive coordinator. Jameis Winston, Saints. Ryan Tannehill is on this list. Tom Brady. Why is Tom Brady on this list, Hunk? Did you insert Tom Brady on this list, Hunk?
It's time for him to go. I'm seeing things.
All right, here's what they say.
Julio's a receiver. We know that's
Here's
all
what they
about
say.
him.
Let's finish with the greatest player in NFL history who faces a unique conundrum. Having won 6 Super Bowls with Bill Belichick in his 7th without his longtime coach in Tampa Bay, Brady has nothing left to prove. He holds nearly every meaningful statistical record for quarterbacks and continued to play at a high level at the age of 44, only for the Buccaneers to fall to the eventual Super Bowl champion Rams in a classic divisional round game. That game was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
The only thing for Brady to do is stick the landing. Odd to go gymnastics reference in a football article, but okay. When he briefly retired after the season, it looked like he had put a comfortable cap on his career, unlike similarly historic passers such as Brett Favre and Peyton Manning. We never saw Brady finish with a season in which he wasn't good enough to live up to his own lofty expectations. Everyone has bad days or bad passes, but Brady at 44 looked about the same as Brady at 34 and better than Brady at 24. Brady undoubtedly wants to close his career with one final title, but you also get the feeling that the soon-to-be 45-year-old will be satisfied only if he's the one leading the way. I don't know.
I don't know why they would put him on.
I
this
think
list.
it has more to do with the fact that he actually retired over the summer, and the comment's going to be if he starts to struggle, should he have stayed retired and that instead of coming back?
I'm just listen, man.
But he's got Julio Jones now.
And those 4 games are going to be really fun to watch.
Hunk, strays.
I'm just saying, man. The man out here playing with house money. Like Tampa, reality check Tampa.
I don't even know if he's done this year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if he's done at Tampa. Like, he could be on another team next year. This guy.
And guess what, y'all? What they got to understand. Tampa, y'all caught lightning in a bottle. Take it, run with it. Your 2 Super Bowls you got, man. Clap your hands real loud, man. Like, be cool with that. Ain't nobody expecting y'all to ever be good. I'm going to be honest. Like, Tampa, y'all cool, but we don't expect y'all to be in contention every time. That man is there, and that's the reason y'all in contention. So that ain't no pressure. He already delivered. Y'all playing with house money. Everything is a bonus. So whoever put him on this,
you got 7. You got 7 Super Bowl titles.
Yeah, like,
and when you take it to the house, you're taking it to the house to a supermodel.
Come on now.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like, come on, like, he can't lose. He can lose and not lose. That's what I'm here to tell y'all. And I hope y'all
you're in a
understand
good spot when you can lose and not lose.
What? Like, you can, like, outside of the competitive spirit, you can walk away and be like, I'm straight, though. I'm cool. I know we just lost, but I'm cool.
All right, so to localize this little topic.
Yes, sir.
Outside of Ryan Tannehill, which Titan has the most pressure on him? 615-737-1045. Titan Anderson is in San Diego, and he's got an answer for you. Titans Anderson, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing today?
Hey, we're good,
brother.
Good to hear from you guys, man. It's got to be Caleb Farley right now. I mean, coming fresh off of that injury and all his injury history and stuff, just hearing about the 2 interceptions and how he's so focused, the length and the speed, he's going to be the biggest improvement to this defense as long as he stays healthy. So I got to go with Caleb Farley.
Caleb Farley's a good answer. And
good.
Here's the thing, too. Like, this is where you start to go through training camp and you get excited to see certain things. And you get excited to see the guys that people are talking up, but everybody's talking up Caleb Farley right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of buzz coming out of that St. Thomas Sports Park about Caleb Farley to the point where I can't wait to see him.
Yeah. Yep.
Pressure on Caleb Farley, I think that's fair, Slay.
I do too. I got one that I think, but I'm gonna pick It's going to shift to a unit.
Oh.
It's going to shift to a unit.
All right. We'll hit you with it when we come back.
That sounds good to me.
All right. Who's got the most pressure on them? Not named Ryan Tannehill on the Titans this season. 615-737-1045. That's 615-737-1045.
June 30th, 2021, the NCAA says, hey, if you're a booster, you can't talk to anyone. And then on July 1st, it's like, go ahead, DM them, do whatever you want.
Open season.
Yeah, do whatever you want. Nope, doesn't. They can sign a contract, but guess what? The guy says they take a deal, and then like, oh, I'm no longer playing for Tennessee. You can't stop them if they want. That's the weirdest thing, right?
Yeah.
Like as a lawyer, what do you say when you're like, okay, you're going to give him money, you're going to agree to terms, and then it's like, oh no, but he can't. The condition is you can't say that a condition is you're being at the school. What?
Yeah.
The next day he goes, all right, I'll take my $8 million. Like it just doesn't make sense, and I think it's not going to make sense in the future. I think the SEC and the Big Ten, they're going to be the ones who are going to be paying the players. Right. You know, like everyone gets $300,000 or whatever it is, and it's going to be what it is. But like, I mean, you look at Tennessee, and it's like, well, what does it take? You know, is it going to take it? If they're spending the money they're allegedly spending, and then like they don't have a great year, are they going to spend that same amount of money again?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And from a coaching perspective, like this quarterback over here signed an $8 million NIL deal, but I found out that he's not as good as this guy.
Good luck in your locker room,
right?
Hey, ain't nothing like being on that back porch. Hey, go down. Back porch with the rain hitting, like yours said, man, with that rain was in that 10.
A 10 roof, yeah.
This
Like
really big, man. Give me a guitar.
4:20 in the afternoon.
All right, come on, man. Come on,
driving
go down.
around downtown.
Ooh, this will do it for me.
Thunder and lightning.
I'll go to sleep out there.
Rain is falling on the ground.
Yeah, buddy.
Brett Bryant, Titans Radio.
Buddy on.
Executive.
We
That
said
was a
we
big
needed
one
some
for
fun.
Garth Brooks right there, boy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Did it for me. I was at Oak Hill Academy in the mountains listening to this.
In the mountains.
Was.
There wasn't a lot to do up there.
Not at all.
What is it? The mouth of the South?
Mouth of, yeah, might as well be Mouth of
Jimmy
Wilson.
Hart.
Mouth of Wilson, Virginia, man. I guarantee you can't find it.
Speaking of Jimmy Hart in the wrestling world, Ric Flair out at Titans.
Woo! The Nate Boy. Good to see the greatest to ever walk the aisle and do it. 16-time world heavyweight champion. Yeah, apparently, obviously, he and Coach Vrabel had made a connection, and he jumped at the chance to come take a look at practice and spoke to the team when they huddled up at the end of practice. And it was good to see him. He's got a big week here in Nashville.
Yes, he does. A big event coming up this weekend. J. Martin Ramon been telling you all about it. SummerSlam. And Ric Flair, one of the great trash talkers of all time, man. And back in the day, I would come home from school and pop on NWA wrestling.
Sure.
And man, I loved the creativity and the presentation and the trash talking speeches.
Sure.
All that stuff. And he was the best at that. You got an example?
Yeah.
Joe Hunt.
You walk around this world and you tell everybody you're number one. The only way you get to stay number one is to be number one. And this is the only title in the wrestling world that makes you number one. When you are the king of the WWE, you rule the world. Think about it like that. Mr. Perfect. Guys,
Mr. Perfect.
Woo! Woo! Let's give a big one. It's the greatest moment of my life. I want to jump. I want to party.
I know what
but
this
I got
is.
to tell you like this. For the Hulk Hogans and the Macho Mans and the Pipers and the Sids, now it's Ric Flair. And y'all pay homage to the man. Woo!
So, Joe Hunt, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that is the 1992 Royal Rumble when he won his first
Listen to Red
WWE
That is
World Heavyweight Championship in a 60-plus minute battle royal.
That is 100% correct.
Because
And
he
by-
later said, with a tear in my eye.
Yep.
That's the one I like right
Yep. And that's exactly what it was. That is considered his greatest promo of all time.
there. Hey.
His
And I
greatest
like that.
match. I talked to him. So this is what's interesting. Coach Mack and him hooked up and we're watching practice together and we were talking for a little bit. And of course, Coach Mack's never met a stranger. And they started talking about Steve Mongo McMichael, who was later a wrestling star, who he coached, when he was with the
McMichael,
Bears. And so, Rick kind of lit up. But anyway, he did an availability after practice. And so I asked him, I said, hey, you chose your last match as Nashville, Tennessee. I said, I know you love this place. I said, you had some of your best matches ever here. Was that one of the factors in kind of deciding that? I said, without a doubt. Because he's actually separate of SummerSlam. SummerSlam is Saturday, and his last match is at Municipal Auditorium on Sunday.
Right. Really?
He's 73 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been through it.
Yeah.
I mean, really in the last 5 years. So, but yeah, I told him, I said, because John Burton of New Channel 5 and I were standing there talking to him, and I was like, John, I was here for one of his best matches ever at Municipal Auditorium in May of 1989 when he beat Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for the title. It is considered one of the best matches in the history of professional sports. That match, I was there, I saw it.
That's cool, man.
It's pretty wild, and he kind of lit up a little bit, because he is a limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun.
Yeah,
so funny.
I love to see him at practice. It was awesome. I'm like, we live in a world where 73-year-old Ric Flair is at the Titans practice right before the week of his last match ever.
And at 73, the players just come over to him like he's the best thing that ever walked
Well, he
out
transcends that sport. I
Yeah.
mean, he is pop culture.
Yeah.
Ric Flair is pop
Yep,
culture.
without question.
And, those guys a few years ago with the Ric Flair drip, you
Yep.
know, that song. I
Mhm.
mean, he's,
Yep, that helped.
but that helped a lot. But he is pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows who Ric Flair is. And if you don't, you go, wait a minute, that's the guy that goes, woo, right?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
That's where the Bachelorette girls got it.
Woo! Stole it from him.
Stole it right from him.
And he stole it from the killer that did Great Balls of Fire.
Really?
He got it from that song. Jerry Lee Lewis. That's where he
Wow,
took it
I
from.
didn't know that.
There's a line there where he's like, kiss me, baby. Woo! Feels good.
That was
That's
smart.
where he got it from.
That was
Wow,
genius.
it was from Jerry Lee Lewis's song.
We're just going to sit here and learn stuff.
Hey, man, ain't nothing. That's
Get our learn on.
Hey, ain't never pushing back from some learning.
I love Ric Flair said Derrick Henry's his favorite player in the NFL, but he hated him when he was at Alabama.
Yeah.
So Derrick Henry was told that and was asked about Ric Flair being there.
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. Hopefully, I can catch him before he leaves. But I wasn't a big fan of his when I used to watch wrestling too. I always thought he was a bad guy. But it's pretty cool to have a guy like him. He's a legend in the WWE world. So it's cool to be able to meet him, hear him talk, and hear him say my name. I watched him on TV growing up for a long time. So it's kind of surreal, to meet people like him and come out here and let him talk to us after practice.
This picture of Derrick Henry rolling around the media today.
Mm-hmm.
Wearing a Who Let the Dogs Out Tennessee Titans Eddie George with a picture of Eddie
That's a
running the ball.
vintage Eddie George shirt.
Yeah, and he's cut it down into a tank top.
Yeah.
Just muscles on top of muscles.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, this picture is crazy.
Like I said, everybody has had this mistaken question about, well, is he ready? He was ready January 22nd. He got 20 carries in the game. He was rusty.
Yeah.
But he's had all off season to just bang weights and, do all those crazy, pick up Volkswagens and twirl them around on his index finger or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, he looks ready to me. And, when Mike Vrabel said yesterday, look, I don't really see him doing a whole lot of reps in preseason games. What for?
Right.
Get him the reps he needs in practice. He'll get plenty of work in those days against the Arizona Cardinals or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And here we go.
3HL, Brett Doherty, Ron Slay, Rhett Bryan sitting in, Don Davenport on assignment. If you want to end the question, Ryan Tannehill obviously under a lot of pressure. There was a column in ESPN outlining people in the NFL with the most pressure on them. Ryan Tannehill was on that list. But we were thinking outside of Ryan Tannehill, which Titan do you think has the most pressure on them? We had a phone call, mentioned Caleb Farley. And the interesting part about Caleb Farley, and this happens every year in training camp, you get excited about seeing somebody that you keep hearing about. Well, we keep hearing about Caleb Farley. Like everybody's talking about Caleb Farley in a positive manner. So I can't wait to see him. Is there a guy that has the most pressure on him, not named Ryan Tannehill, with the Titans? Slay, you transitioned that from a guy to a group, I think. You said unit.
Yeah. I feel like we talked to Ramon earlier and I asked him when going into training camp, when you you've got a unit as far as his offense goes, they're potent. Defense hasn't come along yet. Like, how do you bring them along? And how much pressure is it on you guys to not leave them behind, knowing that it's going to take a collective unit, both teams, offense and defense, to get us there? I think, man, the pressure from the question marks that's around the offense, to me, the pressure falls on the defense for them to have to carry the load until the offense figures out just who they are. We understand the identity is Derrick Henry.
Well,
without question.
You're right in the fact that for them to be really good, which I do believe the Titans defense is going to be really good. But that is taken into account that the offense is a part of that synergy and does their job and, extends drives and keeps opposing offenses off the field and gets their defense rest and they can score point. The point differential is one of the bigger things. If that score gets separated too far, then you are taken out of your own element. You're taking chances you normally wouldn't take.
Yeah.
And it can go the other way if your score is separated too far in your favor. You're taking it kind of skews the numbers a little bit. But yeah, I can understand where you're going with that. You could say the offensive line as a group it could be an answer to this question because you're trying to replace a left guard and a right tackle. Two starters in this thing.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for that battle. I'm here for that left guard battle because I was telling Ramon this. Here's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to win that job and they're going to earn it, right? Like whether they're an all-pro player, I don't know. But the other part of that is, and what's good for this team is because of that battle, you have your swing guy, right? Like that's had to earn that too. So I think that's cool. I keep hearing positive things about Radens. I'm here for all that offensive line stuff.
I tell
It's
you
important.
who I'm really enjoying watching Dylan Radens. I'm really enjoying Aaron Brewer. Aaron Brewer is trying to win a job here.
That's
and
good.
at left guard.
That's good to hear.
And let me tell you, the knock on him the whole time has been the size and the
Yeah.
lack thereof.
Yep.
And he, I talked to him after practice today about that. And it's like, look, I know this has got to irritate you. You got to be that. It creates a chip. That kind of some fuel for you. And he's like, yeah, it used to be. And then, oh, who am I kidding? Yes, it still is.
Yeah.
But and I was like, but I like the size of the fight in that dog.
Right.
I do.
Right.
Now,
Right.
if you're undersized, your hand and your footwork had better be good.
Mm-hmm.
Ramon will be the first to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that stuff. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go a different direction with your topical question.
All right.
And that is, and this is going to sound strange, but David Long Jr. And the reason I say that is the onus on him is the availability. He has to be there. There is no Rashaan Evans. There is no Jayon Brown. He is the guy now lined up with Zach Cunningham. And he missed, 6-7 games last year. Now, he was third in tackles on the team with 75 tackles. So I know what he can do. It's not about the performance. It's about the continuity of the performance and the availability to be able to get out there and put the numbers up and make things happen. I think there's pressure on that. I really do. And another place in the defense that could be a place of pressure now that Buster Skrine has retired and notified them the first day of camp, you're going back to the Caleb Farley question because someone you said a caller had Caleb Farley, and so it's on him and Christian Fulton and Elijah Molden and these guys because something happens to one of those three dudes or Roger McCrary and you're starting to go get a little thin right there. We got to be careful. And 3-4 defenses, they eat up linebackers, and they eat up secondary quite a bit.
Right.
So you can go a million different ways on this, but it's way more than just Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, and see that's what I feel like. There
are layers of this.
This defense is nasty. I'm standing beside that. I said it last year. I'm gonna say it even nastier this year. Everybody come back and do exactly what they did. To me, they are the ones that don't. Walking into this season, you don't get no day off. Your consistency is key. Like you said with David Long, availability, you got to be there.
Yeah.
This defense, you got to be there. Like if it's something that we walk in the house, it's raining outside, you need to put your raincoat on the hook. The hook got to be there. The hook is the defense. Hang it right there. Like we can do it with our eyes closed. We put our hat right there every day we come in. When we come in, we put our keys right there. That's the defense. They always got to be there. I don't feel like I'm okay if the offense struggles a little bit to find their way in the first couple of weeks.
Because you feel like the defense is going to help keep it close.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They better because they're going to go through a murderer's row of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
They're going to the AFC West.
Yeah.
We know about those guys. And then these
Buffalo,
other guys throughout the list are not just a Joey bag of donuts throwing a football.
Joey bag of donuts.
I mean, man, there's some talent. I mean, you got Dak Prescott at some point.
Yeah.
You've got some talent up and down through this, not just the AFC West. You're right. Josh Allen, who a lot of people are pegging as a MVP candidate for the Buffalo Bills. And look, that's where I look to Jeffrey Simmons as the beacon on that side of the ball with a Kevin Byard.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the North and the South Star in this thing and the three levels that are in between.
Yep.
Because they've got to draw from that leadership in this stuff. And David Long has even said he needs to be, I'm a more quiet, more introverted guy. I need to be more vocal. I need to take a step forward in this. Because, that secondary, now that Buster Skrine's retired, that secondary's young, man.
Yeah.
Kevin Byard's just 28 years old.
Right.
And these other cats are pups compared to him.
Yeah.
So, there's,
See, Gordon, that's where my comfort lies, though. I told Yor this the other day. When it's some people you get to hear talk, and it's like, oh, okay. We all right. When I come in the studio and you don't put something together for me, I'm sitting there on the edge of my seat knowing that this is about to be nice. Whatever it is, it's about to be nice. When I hear Big Jeff talk now, he's comfortable where he is. Like, and I'm okay saying, hey, man, I'm following this guy, man.
I
This dude
place a
feels
lot
in a
of
different
faith
spot.
in number 98 like you.
I feel like he's in a
I
different
think-
spot right now, Gordon.
I honestly, and I you've heard me say it on your show.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he is the best man at that position, not named Aaron Donald. And this is a much larger human being than Aaron Donald is. I think this sky is the limit for this guy. He gets more savvy. He adds to his. I look at his progression like I'm looking at Derrick Henry's progression through the years.
Right.
Derrick Henry said it today. He's like, my whole goal is to come in here every year and improve from where I was. And get better every day.
615-737-1045. Who has the most pressure on them on that Titans roster, not named Ryan Tannehill? I'm going to go Taylor Lewan. And I think that I think he understands it, and I think he's up for it, and I think that he will handle it exceptionally well. And again, another one of these guys, 2 years off that ACL. Not a lot of people talking about Bud Dupree. Let me just stop and say that. Who's in the same situation. But Taylor Lewan, 2 years off the injury. He's off social media, which I hate. Because look, sports to me is entertainment, and I'm entertained by Taylor Lewan, and he knows that. And so get back out there, man. It's all right.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Taylor Lewan more so with his leadership or his play?
With his play. With his play. It's funny because Kim Wisenhunt tried to make him a captain before he was ready for anything like that, and that wasn't his personality at that time.
And one of the first things that Mike Mularkey did is stripped him of his captaincy,
and he loved it
to relieve that pressure from him because he's just not that kind of person. He's not that kind of guy. He's not wired that way. And his play started to improve immediately following that move.
Taylor's the kind of guy. Just let him be him, man. And then jump on or don't jump on. But let him be him.
I think it's a valid point what you brought up about him because he is now, a year and change removed from this ACL, and knowing that, that mental part of, can I rely on this thing? Can I plan on this thing? Can I push on this? And the Bud Dupree thing is 100% correct the same way. I mean, look, Robert Woods is way far ahead of the curve than we thought. Now, when you think about when he tore his, it was like the week before the Titans went out there to play them on Sunday Night Football last year. So you're getting close to a year there. And, while they're limiting him with some activities, that's a really good sign at a place where, they're going to need a vet to help get this thing going along with the other guys. Traylon Burks, though, that guy's been putting on a show. That little conversation's quieted down quite a bit.
I love it. I love that conversation is quieted down.
You don't love it as much as I do because I'm sitting here going, man, dude, the film didn't lie.
Right.
What we saw him do in the SEC, what we saw him do against Alabama, that was not a mirage.
See, I was going to say, it's not just the SEC. He's in the SEC West, and he's not on Alabama.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that's what I love about Roger McCreary's game is he faced the best.
That's right.
Every week, and he never got too high or too low. I'm like, I like some of these additions like this.
Titan with the most pressure on them, not named Ryan Tannehill. 615-737-1045. Vols deep. What up, man?
Pretty good. Man, y'all took Taylor Lewan from me because that was who I was going to say.
You can still say it and tell us why you think it.
Yeah.
Well, basically, it's gonna be Taylor Lewan just because the fact that with the suspension that he had, and then he had the ACL tear, and then he had an up and down year. I feel that if he doesn't have an absolute, the best, head to the grindstone, all pro and Pro Bowl season this year, I don't really think he's going to be a Titan next year, and I really hate to say that. He's been one of the best linemen that we drafted.
No, I think that's exceptionally fair. And we had a conversation with him in the offseason where we all think that there was some at least thought as to not bringing him back again this year.
I thought it was a possibility.
Yeah, where he was in his contract, it was definitely feasible for the organization to move on, and he knew it. He knew it. So that part of it is there too. He knows he's under pressure. He wants to finish his career here. Got to have a good season.
I've got another one. I'll hang out with you to the other side of this break.
Okay.
I've got another one that you probably have thought about, but maybe not said aloud.
615-737-1045. Titan with the most pressure on them. Not named Ryan Tannehill next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Again, this is something that is that'll make your watching NFL football a lot more fun for you because everything, this is for our listeners, everything is a matchup in the National Football League. Every time that you see people going in, people coming out, you wonder why they're changing because they're trying to match personnel. An easy way for a defense, it's all for defensive people.
Yeah.
The defense is who has to match personnel. So you name the personnel. There's only 5 eligible receivers in every NFL set.
Right.
There's 5 eligible. And so you name it off. You go by running back, you go running back, tight end, wide receiver. And you leave the wide receivers off. You go running back, tight end. So whatever you say, the first 2 numbers. So I say it's 21 personnel. So that's 2 running backs, 1 tight end. Okay. How many receivers are there? 2 running backs. I'm adding to 5. 2 and 1's what? 3?
Yep.
How many wide receivers are there?
You got 2.
That's all you got to say. So I'm saying, so you're my defensive coordinator, and I say, Ron, they got 21 in the game. So right now they've got 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 2 wide receivers. I'm going to match my personnel with them. Okay. If I say 12, then I've got 1 running back, 2 tight ends. How many receivers?
3.
No, just don't do that to me.
You got 2, coach. You got 2, coach.
You have limited time on the sideline to get this in.
Look.
That Tennessee math, that'll get you, man.
I don't have time for this.
I'm sorry, coach.
I tell my rookies, I told my rookies, you got to count to 5. And don't waste my time because when you can't count to 5, you're taking my money. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm sorry, coach.
It's better to sit there and say nothing than to say dumb. Right. Okay, just don't.
Just say dumb.
I apologize, coach. You got 2, coach.
22
you got 2.
personnel, Slay. 22.
You got 2 running backs and you got 2 tight ends. You got 1 receiver. Let's go, baby. Put me on the game.
There it is. You got a little bit of dose of Coach Matt coaching.
I love it, coach.
Hey, sometimes a pro phone, you were the 1 receiver.
Hey, man, listen. When you put me in that film room, baby, that's why I thrive in them.
13. I say, hey, Ron, they got 13.
You got 1 running back and you got 3 tight ends. You got 1 receiver.
Oh, see. God,
let's get some work done, coach.
HL 1045 The Zone. Somebody in the chat on Zone TV asking how Caleb Farley's doing. He's kind of been the talk of 2 days. Really.
And he was the talk of 2 more before that because, when Coach Vrabel had his presser on Tuesday, they'd had 2 days of work with rookies and injured players coming back. And he had like 2 interceptions in one particular practice the day before that or on Sunday, I think. So, yeah, he's kind of been on a roll. And look, that's where all this stuff starts is building practice reps, stacking practices up. And I feel like that's what he's doing. I feel like that's what Caleb Farley's doing, and also Traylon Burks. There's a couple of guys that you could say that. And I think Ryan Tannehill has looked very good in these first couple of practices.
11 for 11 yesterday.
Yeah. Throwing it with some zip, man.
Shouldn't we all go crazy about that? What? That he was 11 of 11 in 7-on-7 drills?
All right, but listen, I'm good with anything. You got to take baby steps.
Remember the Mariota thing?
Baby steps.
Yeah, it was
like 300 passes
300 some odd attempts without a pick.
Without a pick,
I don't think we want to go that far.
Training camp.
So your question is, outside of Ryan Tannehill, what was on the list? What was that on? Was that on Sports Illustrated or
ESPN.com?
Okay.
NFL people with pressure on them, the most pressure on them. Ryan Tannehill was on their list, which made us think, who's next on the Titans roster? Like beyond Ryan Tannehill, who has the most pressure on them? So we've had Caleb Farley people talking about. We've had Taylor Lewan people talking about. Offensive line as a group people talking about.
David Long Jr.
David Long Jr. was an interesting one. Yes.
I tell you another one that he's our friend, and I love this guy, Brett Kern.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something. Ryan Stonehouse, the undrafted rookie from Colorado State.
Stop right there. You got to love a punter named Stonehouse.
Yeah. Put the stone on it, baby.
Hey, he does put the stone on it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm serious, Ron. I've been timing his hang time punts.
Really?
Through OTAs, minicamp, and the first couple of days. And I'm telling you, the hang time is impressive.
Yeah.
And, of course, the first thing I was like, man, where's it going?
Right.
That's gotten more consistent in the first couple of days I've seen of camp than what it was prior to that a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'm talking about this guy's putting it up there now.
Yeah.
He's putting it in orbit.
Yeah.
And I know how much you like Brett Kern, and I like him just as much. He's one of the best Titans as a person, and the punter that he is a weapon.
Yeah.
I mean,
best punter in Titans Oilers franchise history, if you go look at the numbers.
And that's saying something considering how good Craig Hendrick was when they brought him here in '98 after his stint with the Packers.
That's right. Interesting. Yeah.
Flipping that field ain't nothing like it.
Yeah. And
especially with this defense.
I mean, BK literally, if they move on from Kern at some point, he could come sit in this studio. You know what I mean? Like,
welcome.
So good. 615-737-1045. That's true. Shane in New Orleans. Shane, what's up?
Shane Foster.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man.
I'm driving down sunny New Orleans right now. Just got done blasting my daily Rocky Top.
Hey, go Vols.
And yeah, go Vols. And I did want to let y'all know that my car ain't got no roof.
That's right.
But for the Titan with the most,
yeah.
For the Titan with the most pressure, it's got to be Robert Woods. And yes, he's coming off an injury, so that can take some pressure because that's kind of an excuse if he doesn't play to his caliber. But he's expected to be a number one with a brand new playbook and without having any reps with Tannehill.
You know what, Shane? Appreciate that call, man. Shane, first of all, I love that you ride around with no roof. Let me go and just say that. And you blast the rocket top. Thank you, Hunk. And you blast the rocket top. But, correct me if I'm wrong, Gordion. I think the trade was made with him while AJ was still intact.
Yeah.
So he was brought here to kind of be a number 2 and help lead in a sense. Yeah. I mean, yes, you have to shift him to a 1 now. I mean, that would be expectations because he got the most experience and everything. But
again, we got to see what Traylon Burks is doing too.
You know,
and don't forget, Nick Westbrook-Akina is a part of this, and you've got some stuff there.
Yeah, talk to me.
But let me say this: while we're doing rap references and no roofs, first day of practice, just like Future took that mask off.
Yeah,
he took that brace off that knee.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay. All right. It's real.
I mean, and that's somewhat symbolic too, right? I think from a player perspective. You said it so much so much of the getting over the injury is the mental aspect.
Mind over matter.
Yeah. So to his point, he's expected to be a number one. I guess so, because I mean, who else you got right there outside of Traylon Burks to be a number one? But I'm more of a leadership guy, man, and I take more of that from the number one standpoint than on the field being number one. I would want Traylon Burks to be my number one.
Well, and let's say this too, and something we haven't discussed is what I believe to be an improvement in the tight end room. Austin Hooper is going to be a big part of, I think, this offense taking a step forward aerially.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Chikakonkwo to be a contributor to that as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not sliding Jeff Swaim or anybody else, but I think that is something they've been missing.
Yeah.
I think they've missed it ever since Jonnu went to New England. And I think they have some serious athleticism that's going to help them, especially in red zone situations.
And if it hinges on, if the success of the wide receiver room hinges on Robert Woods being the number one guy and being super productive coming off an ACL tear, I don't know if I feel that comfortable with that. I don't know if that make me feel good.
Let's go to Josh in the Burrow with a player with the most pressure on them, not named Ryan Tannehill for the Titans. Josh, what's up? How are you, man?
I'm doing great. I appreciate y'all taking my call. I just want to say when it comes to pressure, it's got to be Henry for me. If you go back to our last game coming off of that injury, everyone in that stadium could feel the excitement around his return, and then to lose that game, it was just heartbreaking. So this year with Tannehill coming back especially, it's going to be crucial for the King to keep on doing his thing and open up the field for everyone else. Almost like Shaq on the inside for the Lakers in the 2000s. His presence alone is Henry, that is going to be big time with our defense to open everything up and possibly win the Super Bowl.
Thank you. Appreciate it. 615-737-1045. Titan with the most pressure, not named Ryan Tannehill. He goes Derrick Henry, which Aaron Solomon, our buddy, used to work at Channel 4, texted Slay and I and mentioned him. And I thought that was an interesting name. I definitely could see a scenario where the Titans dial back the carries on him this year. He looks like a damn alien again.
Oh, sure. He's a cyborg. But this question is
doesn't he like in Predator, the movie? He looks like he's come from another planet ready to kill you.
Does. He certainly does. I'm glad he's friendly and not that way.
Glad he's friendly.
But, this topic, this question, it's applicable to a lot of people on this roster. And, hey, look, the bright side in all of this for me, you got 91 different dudes that played on this roster last year. And for the people that were under contract that are coming back that were young and didn't get a lot of experience and then they got experience because of that, that's something I'm looking forward to as a dividend. Forget about what happened last year. That's a carryover I'd like to see happen, though.
Yeah.
By the way, in terms of punting history, I know everybody wants these numbers for
Yes.
Titans Oilers. Punting average 45.9 yards per punt. Number one franchise history. Brett Kern also number one inside the 20 as well. And that's where he takes pride in what he does is the placement of the football.
Oh yeah.
And I've told him this before. Like one of my favorite things to see is for him to punt inside the numbers where the returner catches it as he's running out of bounds. And he kind of looks down and and he kind of looks down and he's like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. The old coffin corner, man. The directional placement. Like I said, Coach Mack always talks about him having the tool bag full of tools, having the driver and the sand wedge and a golfer with the bag full of tricks, man. He's got it. I mean, the best thing he ever did was Craig Hentrick teaching him that particular punt, the end over ender that he does. And he's just gotten better through his, career here.
So he calls him Brett Gordy B. He's Rhett Bryant.
Or Gordion.
Oh, Gordion.
Yeah, how did Gordion happen?
Hey, man, listen.
It's just a thing.
Like party on, Wayne.
Okay.
I can't explain this stuff, man.
That's why I just figured instead of party on, it's
Well, I
Gordy
mean,
on.
mayor went from mayor to mayoral to yoral.
Yeah.
Involving nicknames with
it's a moving target.
It's the newest podcast in the 104.5 zone lineup. It's Ron Slay with evolving nicknames.
Hey, man, I ain't no explanation there, man.
You call me whatever you want. I answer most anything.
Hunk's been Hunk in the state Hunk.
Yeah, I think he's comfortable with Hunk.
I am. I don't know if that's a compliment or not because everybody else he likes gets evolution in their
But
names.
on Titans radio credits, which he will get this year as a studio producer, he will be Joseph Hunkapiller.
I love it.
First time he ever did
We're going
it threw me
formal
off.
here.
I've noticed Babs every once in a while calls him Hunky Hunk. Which
Yes, you do. But see, I give him a Hunkinator in there and then.
Okay, that's good.
Hunkinator.
The incredible Hunk.
Yeah.
I accept all of those.
There you go.
What do you call him when he tries to be a Tennessee fan?
Oh, that's Joseph right there.
That's Joseph.
Yeah, you get that like
Don't
that.
get on to me about trying to be a fan of the team when your brother wears 16 different jerseys in a week.
That's baseball.
It's everything.
Oh man,
No.
you'll never see him. You'll never see him wear another football jersey.
Baseball.
Every day it's a different jersey.
See,
Everything's
that's-
good in baseball, huh?
Yeah, baseball is like ain't nobody playing that. I remember when I was getting ready for the draft, John Lucas came down. That's when throwback jerseys and stuff were in style.
Yeah.
I came down, I had a closet full, and we had an off day, so we went to a track on the off day. And I had my jersey on. He said, "Hey man, you can't be wearing that stuff, man. Take that off. Like these are the people that you want to play against." So you know what? You're right. I can't wear basketball jerseys no more. So
Ramon had a sweet Roberto Clemente on today at practice.
Yeah.
That's a good throwback right
baseball
there.
guy, man. You can roll. Like I can roll with any football jersey.
Well, that'd be a
'Cause I
hell
ain't
of a
played.
competition if he could play against Roberto.
But I won't. if he could, hey man, you crazy.
Ramon was in a thong when he did the show earlier. Did you know that?
Hey man, no, he wasn't. No, he was not. Savage. I ain't let him do you like that.
What's the hat? Speaking of wardrobe,
that is
I've been trying to
representative
figure it.
of Hy-Vee grocery stores. Hy-Vee. That's they're coming to town here in a couple of years.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at that.
Yep.
Ahead of the curve.
Hey,
Future Zone sponsor.
I just like the hat. I was like, this is nice.
Yeah,
It is.
like
I thought
that.
it was some Houston team, like
Nope.
some Rockets thing.
The Houston
Kind of do look like the Houston Rockets.
Arena League 3.
All right, 5 o'clock hour coming up. Thank you, Rhett.
No problem.
At Rhett B Tennessee on Twitter. You give him a follow there. When we come back, more hijinks and frivolity with Ron Slade and Brett Doherty. 3HL 1045 The Zone. Content. Brentwood Jewelry, they have great content there. Watches, if you need watches.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Banks are great for car loans, but when you need a home loan, you need an expert. We'll get you pre-approved the day you call in, lower rates, and with our 21-day closing guarantee, you'll be in your dream home in weeks.
Good evening from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hogg. Training camp continuing for the Titans at St. Thomas as Derrick Henry, Robert Woods, Mike Vrabel all spoke with the media after practice today. Robert Woods, one question that he keeps getting asked about is the knee and what he's doing in practice to kind of test it.
Good. Just go. Like I kind of said, kind of with the braces, more so just go and push it. It's strong enough. It's repaired. It's healed. It's more so about just actually doing it. So that's my mentality when I go out here and practice is push it and go. And you almost want to like push it to the limits and see what you can do. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Nashville Sounds back in action again tonight. First pitch is going to be at 7:05. They've taken the first two games against the Charlotte Knights. By the way, Sounds best team in AAA. Charlotte, they're the worst team. Strike Zone going to be going on as well with that starting around 7:05 as well. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, and home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville 3HL is on the air. 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with the one and only Ron Slay.
What's up, good people?
And from Nashville, Tennessee, at 6'8", at power forward, Ron Slay.
Y'all better buckle up because this car ain't got no roof. Why would it? Man, why? Exactly. Exactly, yo. Why would it? Look. See, because as soon as you try to put the roof on, the rain stop. You ain't going to feel silly because you got to stop and pull over to let your roof back down. Keep it off.
I feel silly for a lot of reasons, usually. That might be one of them.
Hey, man.
We had that Indy driver on yesterday.
Dude was good, man.
Said the biggest difference with the IndyCar racing, Scott McLaughlin. He was awesome.
Man, that was good.
Check out the interview. Even if you have no care in the world about IndyCar or racing or anything, he was great.
Right.
Check out the podcast. But, yeah, he said biggest difference is the car ain't got no roof.
Hey.
I mean, he had no idea what he was walking into when he said that.
No, he didn't.
He was just feeling the aura of 3HL.
Yo, it happens like this sometimes.
Like that ghost that's in there messing with Joe Hunk.
Just keep on playing around with
it. The ghost has not presented itself today, but since I just mentioned the ghost, I bet the lights will start flickering. Do you have your camera on in there?
I do not at the moment.
Why?
No.
Why have you not been putting your camera on?
Because
what's going on here, Hunk?
I think the ghost is making sure, because if I get on camera, that's when it flickers. I don't think the ghost wants me on camera. I don't. And Dawn says it's a she, so I think she's camera shy.
How does Dawn know the ghost is a she?
I'm
looking at YouTube right now. It's me and you.
Slay Dog. And Dove Chocolate.
Presented by the homeloanexpert.com, Ryan Kelly.
That's our people, man. 10-day closing guarantee. You better remember it.
What are you eating?
Dove Chocolate.
Dove Chocolate. You know what? I had to take advantage of this because Babsy somehow sneaks over here to the lunchbox.
So
unknowingly.
For those that don't know, we have a lunchbox in the studio that was given to Ron Slay by Chick-fil-A when Ron saved everyone from no more barbecue sauce at Chick-fil-A. He launched a one-man campaign.
You're all welcome.
And they sent him some gifts because they kept the barbecue sauce.
Wrote a letter.
You wrote a letter to the CEO?
Do you need to shoot another letter about ketchup?
Over to Burger King?
I'm done. I'm done with them, Hunk.
Where was that? In Melrose? They
right down here on 8th and Wedgewood, man. The new one. It look all pretty. They got 2 drive-thrus and everything.
Are you talking about where the beer barn used to be?
On down. No, not on down. But you're in the right area. You're in the right vicinity, yeah. They wrong, man.
See,
y'all wrong.
I didn't drink in high school, but I might have had some friends that did. I didn't. Rule follower, man.
Yeah, good job.
Now, when I turned 21, I was with my friends in Atlanta. We went to the liquor store, and the guy wanted to see my ID, and he looked. He's like, "Damn, today's your birthday." The whole store sang "Happy Birthday" to me.
Yeah, it did.
In Atlanta, in Buckhead.
That was real.
So anyway, the beer barn. We would go there. My buddy Billy McCurdy. He was like 6'5", 320 pounds, and he'd walk in there. But the beautiful thing about the beer barn, and kids, don't try this at home, unless you're 21. there would be guys waiting outside for people like us, and they'd be like, "Hey man, $10, I'll go buy you some."
There you go.
And so that was the easiest way to do it.
Billboard Nashville staple, baby. Southside staple.
Why do we get rid of everything?
Man, they got a big old police station right there now.
I know.
With a billboard.
I mean, where the laws were being broken.
Yeah.
Now they're protected and serving.
They just set up shop. They said, we're going to be here anyway. Might as well turn this sucker into something we can use.
But like the West End Cooker, Rio Bravo,
the Cooker,
Opryland,
They said, I'm gonna be honest.
Metro Center,
man. Metro Center gone. Fountain Square, the movie theater.
That's really
right
what
there.
I was thinking about. Right there. Lions Head Cinema down off White Bridge. Satco's still there, and I know that Shannon Terry was talking about Satco when the money went through when they sold Rivals. Him and his partners were sitting at Satco.
Yeah,
and like all of them, like in the span of like 10 seconds, the money hit on each of their phones.
That is a beautiful. I'm waiting
Satco.
on.
So I know Ramon was like, Satco, what is this place? A Nashville staple.
And I've never eaten it.
And it's still there.
It's still there. Still hanging on.
Melrose Lanes.
Melrose Lanes.
Charlotte Bowling Alley.
Yep. Charlotte Skating Ring.
Charlotte Skating Ring.
Man, yeah.
The Parthenon.
Man.
See, we don't even need the Parthenon anymore.
They still got that.
See, I have a series of really unpopular takes that people just murder me. Like, so y'all nickname me the mayor, where like everybody likes me or whatever. But then I have these series of takes that people just murder me. Like, I don't like pie.
Yeah.
I don't like apple pie. So people think I'm un-American. I don't like Charlie Brown. You stumbled into that one the other day.
That's another
one. We dove into that one deep yesterday, and that was unintentional.
Listen, you go through life, and either you play the ball or the ball plays you. What are you going to be? I'll tell you what Charlie Brown is. Not what I want to be.
You want to be Charlie Brown?
No. Keeps trying to kick that football, man. Learn. Do life. Don't have life do you.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Charlie Brown. What else are some of my other ones?
Is the Parthenon on this
list?
list?
The Parthenon. We don't need it. Look at all that real estate right there. Who's going into the Parthenon?
Man, guess what, though?
A bunch of third graders that don't even care. All they care about is they're not in school right now. They don't care where you take them.
The only purpose
Go feed the ducks
is to be in one of Slay's dreams. That's like the only purpose that it serves.
Yeah,
Speaking of,
kind of a nightmare with Slay.
Speaking of, and no lie, this is an actual dream that happened last night. You know how you have like anxiety dreams where you're falling or you're back in school and you can't figure out the test or whatever it is. Last night, me and my wife Kelly were running from something and we couldn't figure out what we were running from. You know what I mean? Like almost like you're in a movie and something's chasing you. Yes, that. Yeah. Guess who was chasing us? Come to find out.
Me.
Greg Cosell.
What?
Greg Cosell. And he was all hunched over. Just running after it. And we thought, man, if I can't outrun Greg Cosell, what am I doing?
Hey, man, what?
And he wasn't even going fast, but he was still like, we'd run around the corner, we'd look back. There he is, right behind you.
Hey, come on.
I'm dead serious. And Greg Cosell is not on today because of personal reasons. And
probably
so
tired.
He's probably tired.
Chasing y'all all night.
But he's coming on tomorrow at 3:20.
After we recovered.
Do you have weird dreams like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
Did you ever have a dream?
Yeah. Goes back to that one.
Did you ever have a dream where, you went and saw Athena? She's 500 feet tall, that woman.
She turned into Medusa. And I'm like a Ghostbuster.
Oh, that's right.
It's always the same dream, too. Like, I never defeat her. Then it's like she started looking at me like she liked me. But I can't.
Wow. That's Bobby Brown the ghost.
It's get weird. I'm telling you. But I always wake up when I walk outside the Parthenon. It's crazy. It's really wild.
I think people hate that thing.
I got to go visit her.
3HL field trip?
Yeah, I think so. But you know another thing for the Parthenon? Everybody takes prom pictures there now.
Oh, they do?
Yep. A lot of people do. It's like a meetup point.
Well, and like Monday Night Football, when the Titans host Monday Night Football, they always do like shots of the Parthenon.
Yeah, see. So, I mean,
but they make it like people that don't live in Nashville are like, oh, that's really cool. I bet people go there all the time. No, you don't.
No.
And not unless you're in the second grade.
No.
You might go hang out in the field and have a picnic.
Yeah.
Let your dog run around and catch things.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got those airplanes on like metal rods. Like, what are you doing there? And then like, I don't
right there by the beach volleyball.
Come at me. And then I want to not fall forward. I want us to keep the time exactly where it is right now.
Yeah, that's your thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Spring forward, fall back.
We've all got things. 615-737-1045. Derrick Henry talked to the media today, and number one, there is a picture going around. I don't even know who put it out first, but there's a picture going around of him. And like every once in a while, there's a picture of Derrick Henry or a video where you're just like, good Lord, this guy. But there's a picture. Will Compton is where I saw it. Will Compton put it out, and he goes, I mean, holy S word.
Let me go check him out.
And it's a picture of Derrick Henry just kind of walking. He's just kind of looking, and he's got a tank top on with a picture of Eddie George carrying the football, and it says, "Who let the dog out?"
That's a big dude, man. This is a big old dude, man.
But he was talking about today. As he gets older, does he change how he prepares for a season?
No, not at all. Just continue to do what I've done. Not get too carried away with it, and trusting what I do, just taking care of my body and preparing the right way with these guys out here, and then go out there and trying to help them win.
Again, if you missed the fact that Ric Flair, one of sports legend Ric Flair, was at practice today and addressed the team, he talked about how he loves Derrick Henry now, that he's like his favorite player in the NFL, but he hated him when he was at Alabama, which I think is probably true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But Derrick Henry was asked about that.
No, I didn't get a chance to talk to him. Hopefully I can catch him before he leaves. But I wasn't a big fan of his when I used to watch wrestling too. I always thought he was a bad guy. But it's pretty cool to have a guy like him. He's a legend in the WWE world. So it's cool to be able to meet him, hear him talk, and hear him say my name. I watched him on TV growing up for a long time. So it's kind of surreal, to meet people like him and come out here and let him talk to us after practice.
One of the cool elements to training camp is every once in a while, like when that practice session is over for that day, the players will kind of gather inside the fences and the families will go out there, and like the kids are running around and stuff. And so there was video of Derrick Henry with his daughter out there, and he was asked about like how special that was.
It was something that she can look at whenever she gets older. Having these moments are always precious, especially with your kids. Because being in football and training camp, takes up a lot of time. But anytime you get moments like that, you always cherish those moments, and something that we can look back at and laugh at and have some joy from.
That's the king, Derrick Henry.
Nothing like that, man. Nothing like that.
615-737-1045. When we come back, you'll hear from Robert Woods, also Mike Vrabel, talking about Traylon Burks. Could he get an expanded role? You'll hear from the head man next. 3HL, if you want in. Open phones the rest of the way. Britt Doherty, we're on Slate. 615-737-1045.
What do you do now when you walk into a home, a living room? Now, you got me. You coming to recruit me.
Yeah.
You got me. I'm the oldest of 13. I got my mama there, single parent home, my grandmama there. You know what I mean? We probably got some in there cooking in the kitchen. We probably get you some noodles. We ain't got much to get, you know what I mean? So we get some noodles, some ramen noodles. They like to say ramen.
It's ramen.
It's
ramen.
Come on, hype.
It's ramen.
Come on, this is the boom boom. These are my rules.
Yeah, but I get to be real. Right?
This is going to be the only time I'm going to say, okay, we got some ramen noodles in that cookie.
There you go.
We're going to go with the chicken flavor and the beef. That's what you're going to pick. You sit down on the couch, you talking to my parents, man, what are you going to sell me on?
You know what's crazy is that most of the recruiting now, like you're not selling once you get in the house. Like you've already had them on campus like a handful of times.
Right.
The recruiting cycle is so different than it used to be.
Right.
But what are we going to sell, man? We sell personal and professional development, like the opportunity to grow as a human being and like the realness of what it's going to look like inside of our building. Like what are your goals, dreams, and aspirations? How does Tennessee football, non-football, but the University of Tennessee help you go achieve those goals and dreams, and how do you fit into the culture? And to me, those are unbelievable opportunities to sell, right?
Love
like
that.
they come to game day. Like, they've
Yeah.
all come to game day.
Yeah.
Like, that sells itself.
Yeah, it
That's
does.
college athletics as good as it gets
Without
anywhere
question.
in the country. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
As a competitor in the league,
Mm-hmm.
when I came, it's one of 2 or 3 spots that I've ever gone out early for warm-ups. But driving up, seeing Vol Navy,
Yeah.
driving into that stadium, I was like, I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, I got the experience.
There ain't nothing
Yeah.
better, man.
At
And now
all.
getting a chance, and I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
right?
because you ain't got no choice.
I was a skeptic of Vol Walk.
Like
it
like
can't
what?
really, it can't
There have been
really,
other coaches that have said that. Yeah.
it can't really be like that.
Yeah.
What was the feeling?
There is nothing like it. And I can't tell you what my son said as he
Yeah.
was walking by.
She was all the way through.
Yeah, man. It's
yeah,
awesome.
it's serious.
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Let's get away from the coach. Let's get away from the competitor. Let's get away from all of that. Let's get away from the team. You got 2 days. We got 2 days. We're going to snap our finger. You can take me anywhere with you. Where would you like to go anywhere in the world? We're going to have a good time. Yeah, we're going to have a good. It's just me and you. We got 48 hours.
I'm going overseas. We're getting on your jet.
Hey.
You're going overseas.
You can snap your finger. We got a jet in the boom boom room. That's right. I like that. Yep.
I mean, we're going Italy and Greece, man. Checking it out. Let's go.
See, he know them my stomping grounds. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes,
we're
he
going to have a
does.
good time over there.
Did his research.
Yeah, you better know it. So, all right, last thing. Josh Heupel, the hype train. When them fans are going bananas and you coming out of there running out the tee, you got the lights going crazy. You got the fireworks
Well,
going on.
let me tell you, when the lights go off and it's all orange.
Yeah, it's serious. It's serious.
That is sweet.
That Ole Miss pregame thing
man,
was unbelievable.
I did everything in my
So
power
was that
not to
Ole
run
Miss
down on
postgame
the
thing.
field because I didn't want to be put out the game. But, I probably would talk to somebody. But this is what I'm asking you. Have you ever ran through there with the energy? I mean, it's going. And said, hey, man, you can't trip and fall. Did you ever think you would trip and fall running through the tee?
Boy, I've never thought that way ever in my life.
And now,
Thanks, Slay.
No, I know, because guess what?
when they play Ball State, he's going to be like, damn, Slay.
This was my fear. Like, when I was a player, they let us go through the tee one time, and I was out the whole time saying, hey, man, what if somebody fall? And a player, I ain't going to say the name, one of our basketball players, he slipped and fell.
He wasn't ready for all that.
He wasn't ready. It was too much energy for him.
He could handle 21,000.
No.
He couldn't handle 100.
So we take it light on you, man. We take it light on you, Hyper. Let me ask you this. 2-minute drill. Going down the field, you start at the 10-yard line.
Okay.
Got to win this game.
Yeah.
Got to go score a touchdown. You're looking at your team.
Yeah.
You got young Hype right there. National championship Hype.
Yeah, he's running the offense.
He running offense.
Okay.
And you got Hendon right there.
Yeah.
Which one you telling? Hey, man, go win us this game.
Hendon Hooker.
Without question.
Yeah.
Why?
He's got better coaching.
Oh my gosh, you just nailed that. Look at that.
104.5 The Zone. I love randomly throwing out the Nashville staple thing, like things that are dead and buried, but not in our hearts and souls and minds here as Nashvillians.
You hit on some great ones, boy.
Well, somebody hit Rotiers. And Rotiers was so good that like you had to be kind of in Nashville to know, not just Nashville guy, but like in Nashville to know about that place.
Because you'll walk right by it. I'll drive right by it. It's ducked off in a little cubby hole.
But we always had like Rio Bravo was the guy, like Rio Bravo was a restaurant on West End, and it had the porch that everybody wanted to be on. So you could go there, and the wait to get on the porch would be like 2 hours, literally. Inside the restaurant is wide ass open.
Yeah.
Like, you sit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, we got you a table.
Mm-hmm.
Want to be on the porch.
I went to the Cooker for my prom.
Cooker was phenomenal.
I love their chicken fingers. Well,
I was just going to say that.
Oh, my gosh. Well, amazing. Man, the Cooker was good. So ketchup on my soup.
And they would have, you did, white suit?
No, black, but the white, with his cummerbund and all that. Yeah. I ain't even tripping.
But the Cooker had like the home style sides.
Yeah.
You know?
So did.
Yeah.
Cooker was good, man.
Houston's, all the West End places, man.
Yep. Man, I used to love Houston's. After the Pro-Am games that we used to have, man, we used to go to Houston's to eat.
Jay said Sportsman's Lodge by Vandy.
I never eat that, but I know what you're talking about.
Yep, Vandyland.
There's plenty, man.
615-737-1045 at the RHL 1045 on Twitter. Matt Ryan getting some run from the media. I saw Greg Doyle, who covers the Colts, wrote a story about how Matt Ryan and his leadership. What if Matt Ryan throws for 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, like 4 interceptions, and they go 13-4?
As long as one of them two of them 4 losses against the Titans, I don't care what he do. Jim, and the funny thing is, Jim Irsay don't care what he do either. He wants to win this division. Regardless of what happens, he wants the coach to win this division.
I mean, he put it out there.
Exactly.
You put you want to talk about pressure on people? You put all the pressure on the head coach when you're the owner and say, hey, we got to stop this Titan thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know Vrabel ain't we ain't relinquishing anything. No control. Keep the division in the chokehold. Like it. That'll be easy. His neck long.
615-737-1045. I mean, it's not Peyton Manning neck long.
No, you got to be careful. Peyton more head. Peyton got more head.
He does have a big head.
Long head, too. Big and long head.
It sounds like you can play a movie on top of it or something.
Hey,
like
listen, that's my brother. I love him.
Put a projector on there.
Yeah, man, that forehead, man, he know what? He ain't going to trip. You know what I mean? But that man neck, they just showed Matt Ryan on TV. That man neck, man, every bit of little baby ostrich giraffe. I'm telling you.
So do you mean that Matt Ryan's a giraffe?
No, you a baby ostrich and giraffe.
So like if a giraffe and an ostrich.
There you go.
like that raccoon dog.
In the boom boom room.
They went there.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Like that raccoon dog we were talking about?
The puffy dog. Yep. That's it.
So what about Aaron Rodgers? I love talking about all these quarterbacks. What about Aaron Rodgers is strolling into the parking lot in slow motion on that Sports Center shot?
I love that. That was G.
You, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I can't tell what the best part of that video is. Number one, I mean, he does look like Nick Cage in Con Air. He does. He's got the can't say what we call these shirts, but it's the white tank top undershirt. You know what we're talking about. But the other part of that is it's tucked in. And he's carrying a bag, and he just drops it in the parking lot. Like, who is he expecting to pick up that bag?
Anybody. Next person come along.
And just get it where it's supposed to go.
Teammate, trainer. Hey, somebody grab a bag out there for me. Like that.
Randall Koff.
Yeah, says I got you here.
Yeah.
You owe me one.
Here's the thing about, like, that kind of confidence and swagger. Like, it's almost like that was a message to the receiver that left.
Yeah. You left me some baggage, yeah. When I come in tomorrow, I'm dropping my bag outside.
See who picks it up.
Yep. They bring it to me.
So you want Todd Furman to run odds on who picks it up? Is it our program director who's our boss?
Hey, we got to figure it out. Who coming in from lunch?
Is it Allison?
You know
like
what
the
I think
head
it
of
would
all
be?
radio stations here at Cumulus National?
No, I think it would be. You know what?
Chloe and national sales.
That's what I was going to say.
Chloe.
That's what I was going to say. But you got to watch Allison. Allison got an eye on everything going on around the station.
Oh, she knows everything.
But she appears like Batman. Like I never hear Allison coming, and then just all of a sudden she's right there. I'm like, hey, I ain't even seen you. Hey.
She sidles up.
Yeah, it's like weird. Like Allison everywhere. Mason kind of move in stealth mode sometimes.
These are all of our bosses.
Yeah. So,
what about Charlie, the operations manager?
No, see,
he's usually diving into the country music world.
And then Charlie is like a big stick walker.
You know when he's coming.
You know what I mean? Like, you kind of feel Charlie.
Like, he walks down the hall while we're doing the show. He'll knock on the window.
You know what I mean? It's just
Like,
stuff
hey,
like that. Like,
what's up?
yeah, like, oh, hey, Charlie. Oh, yeah. Charlie like the neighbor that, you know, on Friday going to invite you over for a barbecue but ain't got no food but got all the drink. So you really just end up sitting on the patio with Charlie just drinking. He that type of guy. Like
all
he's
the
great
guys
to
on
be around.
Father's Day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Charlie. I just gave y'all Allison's Batman. Paul Mason's a stealth mover. Charlie is the neighbor down the street with all the drinks. Don't never have the barbecue. So there you go, in a nutshell. You're welcome.
Oh, here's me in a nutshell.
What is that from?
Austin Powers.
Yeah. So,
which is the best part of that movie is when he's trying to back up that little golf cart thing.
Yeah.
You can't turn it. So Aaron Rodgers. Then you've got Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Who's like fighting with everybody.
Right. I like it.
There's a reason why it's an anonymous comment.
Don't put no name on it. Scared.
Then you got Tua, who's like, hey, man, free agent wide receiver, but one of the best in the league. Can you not say some of the stuff you're saying about me?
I'm begging you.
I know I'm under pressure. I know I have to play well this year or I'm gone. They spent all this money on all these things to make the offense better, and if it still sucks, that's on me.
Like, it's a constant soundtrack playing into his head right now. And you know where it come from? The Eddie Murphy movie. I think it's either Another 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop. The heat is on.
Beverly Hills Cop.
It's over and over.
Low key, that is a phenomenal film.
Oh,
People need to go back and watch that.
Without question.
See, we try to offer up to the younger generation some of these older movies that you need to go back and watch. The Beverly Hills Cop series is right up there.
Bring them in soon. But that's playing over and over because Tyreek keeps talking. Cheetah, stop talking. Just be fast. Don't talk about me. You can keep talking. Just don't talk about me. I'm cool. Don't heat my seat up.
Russell Wilson in Denver. I have a feeling that one's not going to go as well as people
Gotta
think.
keep your eyes on that one.
You agree with
A
me
lot
there?
of Yes, it's a lot of expectations on that right there. It's gonna be interesting.
And then Derrick Carr. I mean, they've given him some weapons.
Yes, they have. So does that fall more on Carr or McDaniel?
I think the Raiders are going to be really good in the regular season, despite being in the AFC West. I think they're going to be really good in the regular season and then crap the bed in the playoffs. I mean, Derek Carr on fourth down could have put Cincinnati out.
Yes, he could have.
He didn't even throw it in the end zone. What are you doing?
It's crazy. I bet on them that game, too.
Jake and Brentwood. Jake, what's up?
What's up, BD? How you doing? Ron Slay.
Jack, what's up, brother?
Man, I'm doing good. My favorite line in Beverly Hills College, banana in the tailpipe? You put a banana in the tailpipe? Y'all remember that?
Yeah, without question, man. You know that. We riding with the classics.
So, here's my question. I heard BD talking about the Parthenon. I like, BD, what do you want to do? Like blow up the Parthenon?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't know what I want to put there. Maybe a Major League Baseball stadium or something. I don't know.
A sand volleyball pit.
Sand volleyball pit.
What do you want to do with them? You got it. That thing was a World's Fair, man, like in 1898 or something. I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. If you get rid of the Parthenon, what do you do with Athena?
I don't know. Ron seems to have something for it.
I was just gonna say I'll put it in my driveway.
What if you put it there in your backyard?
I'll put it right there in my driveway, like a little bird bath.
500-foot statue of Cena and Brentwood, where Ron lives.
I'm put it in a little pool, one of them little kiddie pools,
All those
like a
little
bird
third grade
bath.
field trips come to your house.
Yeah, I'll come visit me.
Like it's like what, water shooting out of her mouth or something.
Everybody, we're going to Slay's house.
Jake, we're gonna need subtitles in a minute. Oh my god, I missed it.
Hey, straight up, Huck. I asked him earlier, but he said he didn't bounce the ball. So kudos to Huck for at least getting it over the plate.
I love that. That's the standard.
He got
He
got about 30 feet over the plate. Booster made the mistake of catching the ball. Like if Booster actually jumped to catch this pitch.
He should have let it sail.
So Booster.
Is it Booster? Well, you know what? Who could throw straight up? Who could throw a ball to a rooster or a booster? I mean, when you guys get asked to do the first pitch, hey, do me a favor. Put me a player, a catcher, with a mitt that looks like a baseball player.
See, that's what I asked for, Jake, and
they're busy.
Politely declined.
You got one
I'm getting ready for a game.
to get for the real first pitch.
The players hate doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Hey, Jake, people are asking, like, when you like to have a drink or two, what is your choice of drink?
When I do participate, which is very rarely, that would be the Colt 45 and 2 zigzags.
Maybe that's all we need.
That's real. I like that right there, Joe. A 40 and 2 zigzags.
2 zigzags. You got to throw in the zigzags. Jake and Brentwood presented by Colt 45 and zigzag.
Right.
Do you go to the park after dark?
All right, guys. Love you. Peace.
Jake.
Did you just say I love your piece?
Love your pieces. No, I love peace.
Does the statue spit water out?
No, because that's what the birds would be.
Okay, because that's what he was asking
Birds and the
about.
bees.
Was the water her spitting the water out onto your house?
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Apparently, I speak Jake.
You do. Like, how'd you catch that?
That's very impressive.
It's the Hazel Green in me.
Oh man.
Hey. Yeah.
Can you imagine where Baz would be right now?
Oh yeah, man. Did you pull Jake's from last time when Yor was out?
I was out one
About
time.
going to prison.
Oh,
did Jake go to prison?
Yeah, he went to prison. That's the reason why I hadn't called in for a while. I'll have it for you when we come back.
Man.
When we come back in a little bit. I got it for you.
Oh boy.
See, I want to hear that, but I also want to hear Eli Drinkwitz from yesterday on Jim Rohn.
Oh, yeah.
We played that right at the end of the show and didn't get much. I mean, we didn't have a chance to get run on that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get Slay's take on that. All right, players on the Titans roster that have pressure, not named Ryan Tannehill. Alvin in Nashville. Alvin, what's up?
How y'all doing?
What up,
We're good, man.
Do y'all remember the pizza joint down there at the arcade?
Yeah. Yep. Downtown.
Oh,
Yep.
yes. What was the name of that place?
Oh, man, when I was young, there used to be a McDonald's on that side and a Burger King on the other side when I used to be young.
Yep.
My mom used to take it down there. And man, the pizza was so big, you could feed like 4 people.
So
I don't know
good.
what the heck.
See, I forget. Man, somebody let us know what the name of that place was. I forget.
remember that.
Here's the thing, though. The first time I went to the arcade, I was very disappointed because it wasn't an arcade.
No, it ain't.
That's
Well,
dead serious.
I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna say a player. I was actually gonna say a coach. I was gonna say Todd Downing, and the reason I say Todd Downing is because now you have no excuse. You have tight ends, you have receivers, you have running backs. I mean, what's gonna be your excuse? I mean, you got the Arthur Smith, so what you gonna do with it? I ain't gonna listen.
Yeah, I listen. We said I went on that. I put it off for Tannehill at the end of the season last year and start questioning Todd Downing.
See,
so.
that's why you go get a passing game coordinator.
There you go.
That's all the pressure you have. I mean,
yep.
Hey, man, we tried to help you.
Yep.
Like, if it doesn't go well,
yep.
Gone. I'm telling you.
Without question. Without question. So I think he's spot on with that.
That's like Tyreek Hill saying all the stuff that he's saying. That's the Titans saying that without saying it.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Plus, I mean, it worked last year
Most
on the other side
definitely
of the ball.
Yeah, it did. Got a nasty D.
Ray is in Lebanon. Ray, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey.
I think the player I'm thinking that I got in mind is Austin Hooper. And the reason I say Austin Hooper is because if you think about the Titans offense and how it runs off the play action pass, most of the time in the play action pass situation, after the defense bites on the run, Tannehill's first read would be the tight end. So I'm hoping Austin Hooper steps up and can be the tight end that he was prior to going to his last team. I ain't gonna listen.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I think he's spot on with that. Eddie George shared the same sentiments too. So
Yeah, because we were talking about like positions that
Coach
you're
Eddie George.
that you're watching, and he said tight end.
So I think you're right on with that, bro. Thank you, Ray. Ray's boom, boom, boom. Slays boom.
Why'd you drop down to like Barry White level here?
I don't know what made me start going low.
You got all chill.
Yeah, I was something took over me.
There was a roof on your car.
Athena. Telling you.
See, all these people getting after me about the Parthenon. You can't do anything. To the Parthenon. Y'all ain't been to the Parthenon since you were 12 years old. 615-737-1045. So what are we doing? We're doing like Jake and Brentwood's greatest hits plus Eli Drinkwitz?
Yeah, I've got both ready to go for
Hell
when we
yeah,
come
let's
back.
do it next. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Greatest hits.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Thinking you need a big down payment to buy a house? Well, you don't. So stop searching for the money. At thehomeloanexpert.com, we can get you in the home of your dreams with no money down. Get pre-approved today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
105 his own House of Pizza in the arcade. I legit thought it was an arcade. It wasn't.
Nope.
Still isn't.
But you know one we left out? Church Street Mall. It was an arcade upstairs.
There was.
Mm-hmm.
I might have spent a lot of time there.
Yep.
I went to Hume Fog for 2 years. My mom worked for, she was assistant commissioner
right around the corner
of revenue. So she was one of these state employees that got off at 4:30 that made the trek down the hill to the parking lot. But I had, between the end of school and 4:30. So I was supposed to go to the library, the old library.
Yeah.
And sit in there and do my homework and study. But that game room existed.
Yep, right down the street.
In Church Street.
Mm-hmm. It's a library now, I think.
I love how you just randomly work through the people that are above us in this building, too. Like, so everybody's going to be texting, like, Paul Mason and Charlie and Allison Simpson.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, we're going to get messages like, what were y'all talking about? Y'all fired.
No, please don't. We didn't mean no harm.
So Jake and Brentwood called. He said, so now Jake is sponsored by Colt 45 and Zigzag.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
He got an endorsement.
So he called in while I was out last week. And y'all said that I needed to hear this.
This is great.
So we're now doing like best of Jake calls. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. Brought to you by
Trust me. We almost sent this to you while you're on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to wait.
Check this out.
All right.
Let's go to Brentwood now. Jake in Brentwood for Trash Talk Friday. Hey, Jake.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Atlanta.
Hey,
Where's Jake in a week, man? What's up, Jake?
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah. How's it going, man?
Man, it's good. I just got out of prison, so it's all good.
Did you? What?
Did he say prism or prison?
Prison? Yeah, I was in jail. I was, yeah. I had to go down and spend 24/7 down in Bay County parent spouse correction facility.
Okay.
Yeah, they make you put on this stuff that's like makes your skin sticky. Then you walk. First, you gotta drag this stuff down and stay in the hot sun. Then you gotta get stuff all in crevices that you don't care that about. Then they go tell you go out in that water. And there's stuff that will sting you and eat you. So,
What in the world is going on?
You sound like you was
I
at
was on
Camp 8.
vacation.
He said he was on vacation.
You're on family vacation?
Yeah, Bay County.
Bay County. So he's in prison with his family.
Yeah. He was so happy to be out.
That man right
Hey,
there.
man, Jake crazy, man. Jake, you crazy, dog. Man. I'm glad you made it, bro. Don't go back.
And what's sad is when he said everybody was in jail and prison, everybody's like, well, I mean,
Yeah.
nobody questioned it.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, that sucks,
Yeah.
man.
Just how you doing now, though?
Yeah, glad you out, glad you okay.
That guy, he's like Will Anderson at Alabama. That man just different.
Yes, he is. He's a problem.
All right, so Eli Drinkwitz, like this guy, could you imagine this guy on a good team? Like, I've never seen somebody talk so much smack on a bad football program.
Mm-hmm.
When Missouri gets good, or he goes somewhere else and gets good, this guy's going to have to be dealt with, man.
Yeah, he'll be a problem.
Eli Drinkwitz on the Jim Rome show asked about the Jeremy Pruitt situation. For those that don't know, Jeremy Pruitt, what was it? 18 level 1 violations.
18 violations.
And his wife allegedly handed out $15,000 in cash.
Yeah.
His wife was the bag man.
Yeah. Bag lady.
Here's what Eli said.
I thought you were going to introduce my record, but with the latest allegations against Tennessee, let's hold up on what my record is because I expect them to vacate some wins, and that's going to help my record a little bit. Me personally, I got to question my wife's commitment to winning. You know, I mean, I don't know how much she's committed if she's not engaging in some of these things. I didn't know that was fair play. So, you know, we got to, you know, it was a little bit surprising to see the in-depth nature of what was going on there. But I am sure glad that Tennessee was taking some ownership of it, and we'll see what the results are. But it was pretty interesting for sure.
So does that irritate you as a Tennessee fan, or do you laugh at it and say that was pretty good?
Yeah, I'm a laugh at it and say it's pretty good, especially coming from a person that can't beat them. I guess it's like, there he is again. Signed up for the race and know he's gonna lose.
Tennessee literally scored every time they had the ball.
Come on.
And like quickly.
Yeah, if anybody is gonna be upset, if I'm Jeremy Pruitt, I'm hot at him though. I'm hot.
That's the weird thing about it. Like, I like it from an entertainment perspective, and I'm a Tennessee guy.
Yeah.
But I like it. I think it's funny. But what's weird about that is in that world, all of those guys' paths keep crossing
all the time.
It's kind of like radio.
Yep.
Honestly, I mean, basically anybody in this market that's in radio, I've worked with at some point.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah.
But football's like that. So, like, football guy hardly ever says anything derogatory about another football guy because they know they could end up, like, needing a job, and that guy's got a job.
Yep.
You know?
You're exactly right. Yeah, and then
but
also
Eli don't care.
No, he don't, and that's what's gonna get him. That's what's gonna get him punished when he come to Rocket Top. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you think they're gonna use that? Even though it was previous staff.
Yeah, you think somebody need that in sports? I don't care what staff it was. You talk about the Ernie Burney era in my time, I'm coming after you.
So do you think it's cool that Jeremy Pruitt's wife helped him cheat? Or do you look at her and be like, what are you doing?
Nah, I think she was real for that.
Right?
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
That's a ride or die right there,
yeah,
man.
buddy. She gets stamped with the 100% guarantee.
Was that Happy Father's Day for a couple years? Like,
hell yeah.
I'll be your bag man.
Baby, I got you. Don't worry. I got you. What you need? Where you need it?
I need this cash to go to this person at this location. Cool. I got you. Don't involve anybody else.
Yeah, cool.
Keep it here.
You don't need to do it. You don't. Let me do it.
Yeah.
Let me.
Yeah.
I got you.
I think that's what it's about. Hand in hand. We all going down.
Puka here said that Ramon got worked up about Eli.
Yeah, but I think it's because like this is cool. Like, and we love the entertainment value of it, but dog, you gotta go win. Like, yeah. I mean, like
at some point you gotta stop saying this stuff and win games.
Like you got a long stretch of this.
So that's an interesting point from a Missouri fan standpoint. If you're a Missouri fan, are you saying that? Like, hey man, stop with all the jokes and win some games.
Like, it was cool when you showed up with the lifesaver after beating Florida. Yeah, okay, you got your thinking cap on.
That was good.
Yeah, that was great.
Coming
but
that damn mullet.
Are we gonna be this cool? Like, we just a headline? We got to have you out here making funny jokes all the time to keep us relevant. Because that's what it is now. Y'all game ain't relevant. But you at the podium is.
Listen here, joke man.
Yeah, like, yeah. Come on, man. Joke man. Yeah, that's him. Like, he's going to roll with that. Shoot. All right.
So you're saying that Eli Drinkwitz is the dope man?
Hey, you see what I'm saying? Like, all right, you got it. That's what you want to be labeled as. You got it, brother. You got it.
Greg Cosell is coming up tomorrow.
Be good.
At 3:20. Best NFL film evaluator out there. And then we'll go from there. I can't believe tomorrow's Friday. This is just one of those weird weeks to me.
It was a quick week.
Does everybody feel like it's Friday tomorrow?
I feel like we still just not leaving SEC Media Day, actually.
You ready for school to start?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
See? Yeah.
I got a 3-year-old, and I'm saying yes.
Yeah, it's time. Man, shout out to Ollie, man. Ollie was Spider-Man yesterday and Ollie. Chased me up and down the hallway, hit me with the string.
That kid's got energy, man.
The webs.
I will tell you guys, the best part of last night had nothing to do with me throwing out the first pitch. He went out to the mound with me. I threw the first pitch. Booster and I started walking off the mound. I got almost to the third baseline, looked around me, and I went, where is my kid? Turned around. He's standing on the mound waving at everybody.
That's real.
Still there.
That's my boy.
Still there.
That's my boy. He love the light, baby. He love the spotlight.
He does.
I love it, too.
Tons of energy, too. All right. Appreciate y'all being with us. Appreciate all the participation. You hit us up on Twitter anytime at 3HL1045. Back at it tomorrow for the Trash Talk Friday edition.
Yeah.
We can start getting some NFL trash talk going. Some college football trash talk going.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, y'all start thinking about it. That's your homework tonight, like Kyler Murray.
Yeah. 30 minutes.
4 hours on the iPad, people.
Later. God
See
bless.